Got a wall around my feelings, built strong like a fortress. Lost inside a maze, emotions in deep storage. Careful when I step, trust is fragile and thin. Words they cut so easily, then they're gone like the wind.
People play the game, say they'll be there and vanish. Promises like shadows in the daylight, they vanish. Guarded heart, I move in silence, whispers in the dark. Can't let them see me slipping, gotta always stay on guard. Guarded heart, I got emotions that they'll never see. Protective armor on this soul that's always watching me. Trust is delicate, a thread I'm holding close and tight. Living in the shadows, always careful with mine. Secrets in my eyes, mysteries behind my gaze. People think they know me, but they're lost within the haze. Invisible scars from the lies and broken phrases. Walking through the fire, I emerge from the blazes. Truth and lies, they mingle, dancing like it's fate. So I guard my soul and never second guess my gate. Trust is rare and precious, like a diamond in the rough. In a world of masks and mirrors, gotta stay tough. Guarded heart, I got emotions that they'll never see. Protective armor on this soul that's always watching me. Trust is delicate, a thread I'm holding close and tight. Living in the shadows, always careful with my light.
Where is my money? Tell me where. You wanna chit chat, but I don't care. Can't be playing with my cash, no way. This disrespect can't be the play. Why you playing games with my cash? Owe me big, but you're acting rash. Said you pay me back today. Hey, now you're silent like it's all okay. Cash rules everything around me. Everything. Pay me what you owe, don't flee. Pay me. Dusty promises don't sue. No dusty promises. Gotta get straight to the loot. See you styling in your new threads. Spending freely while my wallet's dead. You think I won't come for my green, but I'm not backing down from this scene. Where's my money? You promised me. Where's my money? Quit the chatter and just agree. Where's my money? Your lies ain't funny, it's getting old. Pay me now before I get bold. Where's my money? Dusty excuses won't get prowls like a ghost in the night. Running scared, but I'm ready to fight. No more stalling, it's time to pay. Running out on me is not okay. Where's my money? You promised me. Where's my money? Quit the chatter and just agree. Where's my money? Your lies ain't funny, it's getting old. Pay me now before I get bold. Where's my money? Cash rules everything around me. Everything. Pay me what you owe, don't flee. Pay me. Dusty promises don't suit. No dusty promises. Gotta get straight to the loot. To the loot. Everything around me, everything. Pay me what you owe, don't flee. Pay me. Dusty promises don't suit. Dusty promises. Gotta get straight to the loop, to the loop.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everyone doing today? I am Techo Droff. We are Engineer Twin. This is the weekly Tech Times Economics Review, where we are reviewing all of the key economic metrics, indicators, and we bring it back to how does it relate to tech? How does it relate onto our goals and things that we're working on, all of that good stuff. So welcome. How is everyone doing today? Hopefully you had an amazing week, and hopefully your weekend is going well. At the same time, we don't take any days off. We are always looking for 1% growth and improvement every single day. That one day that you take off, even if you take it a little bit lighter on some days, right? But if you are not making incremental improvement every day, then you are going backwards. It's like if you're trying to get up a hill on a car, right? And you just don't have the right amount of energy to get up there, and it starts sliding backwards, and then you are in a world of hurt. So you got to be careful, and you have to make sure that you're trying to get that little bit of growth, that little bit of improvement every single day. All right. So we're going to get into the show today. Today I want to talk about JD Vance's speech at the AI Summit, and I believe it was in France. So we're going to do that towards the end of the show. We're going to get through our metrics first. We're going to look at the consumer price index, the producer price index, and we're going to look at our initial jobless claims and our retail sales report. And then once we get through with that, then we will look at the AI Summit speech, because that was pretty, I found that pretty significant, pretty important. And I wanted to cover that today. So we're going to go reviewing that speech. I also found Elon Musk's reporting on the spending that the government is doing to be quite interesting as well. But I was like, I don't want to cover that. That one goes off. It's not necessarily much tech related, although he uses technology to figure all this stuff out. But I was like, I like the JD Vance, his take on the U.S.'s role in AI, so I didn't want to cover that. All right, so that is going to be the plan for today. But first, let's get to a few announcements real quick. So we are going to be going live tonight on this channel, Tech Droff channel, as well as the Tech Music channel. All right, we're going to be going over the Abandoned album song by song, and I'm going to be sharing and breaking down how that song came to be, what it was about, and even sharing. I'll probably even share some of the the software that I use, or the not software, but the servers that I use to make them, and some of the ways that I prompted it to get certain outcomes in the song. Some of them were like just pure luck. They came out amazing. And some of them I had to do it like maybe 10, 15 times to get exactly what I was looking for. And then some of them were, you know what, forget it. We're not even doing this one. So it just depends. The other thing is the traumatic brain injury survey. Thank you to all of those who have filled it out. Truly, truly appreciate it. But if you haven't filled it out, please, I'm going to drop the link in the chat, as well as it's going to be circulating throughout the show as well. So if you can fill out the survey for me, because quick backstory, my cousin, like, grew up together. She suffered an accident last year, which caused her to be suffering from a traumatic brain injury, and she is working through it, going through therapy and all that good stuff. But she saw that there was a lack in understanding of, for people who are suffering traumatic brain injuries, how to get through it, or how to cope with it, and people who have a loved one who has suffered from a traumatic brain injury, how to help them. So she is she's doing research and gathering data. She studied mathematics in school. She has a master's in mathematics, and she is a system engineer. And she's like, you know what, let me use my skill set to be able to help people who have been suffering through this, and who have loved ones who are suffering through this, to how to help them. So she's gathering data, and she's going to be putting out content at some point in how to help people cope with this. All right. So please fill out the survey. It takes, Mitch said the other day, it takes 3 to 5 minutes. So please go ahead and do that. And I would dearly, dearly, truly appreciate it. All right. And lastly, Abandoned Album is available on all streaming platforms. On the Tech Music channel yesterday, we streamed it for pretty much the whole day, for about 13 hours. We're going to be streaming it again throughout the week, probably, a few times throughout the week. And on the Tech Music channel, I have something special coming starting on Monday, something very, very special, which is going to get us right. It's going to get us right, all right? So we have absolutely no excuses to get out there and get it, okay? So that's going to be coming I'm going to be starting it this coming Monday, and it's going to be every single day of your life. As I said on Thursday, you have to embrace the suck. And if we can make the suck a little bit more enjoyable as we embrace it, so that we can get things done, then let's get out there and get it, right? Let's get out there and get it. And tomorrow we're going to be going live. We're going to be continuing working on Kubernetes on Google Cloud Platform. I'm actually going to do a slight, not a pivot, but a slight adjustment in the way that we've been approaching it, to get it to work for the first time. And then once we get it to work, then we can make an adjustment to get it to work even better using the Google registry. But for now, I'm going to try a different way to get it to work and see how that goes. But that is for tomorrow, right? So that is all of the announcements to get the show started. I'm going to check the chat, and then we will get to our very first economic indicator, where we're going to be looking at our consumer price index. All right. So let me see what's in the chat. All right. We have my guy Magnetar in the building. Says, where is my pod? That is a great question, Magnetar. Hopefully the delivery is on track. As you said, I think you said for Tuesday. So hopefully all is well. But yes, I'm hoping you get your pod very, very soon. And we have the one, the only Miss Freckles in the building. Says salute to you, TCR, to Magnetar, to Roxy, to Mitch. No time like the present. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's see. And Miss Freckles says, can't wait. I'm determined to love the sub. That's what you gotta do. That is what you gotta do. Let's see. What is this that I'm seeing here? We have Mitch with a profile picture. I don't believe that. I don't believe that's Mitch. But we have an imposter of Mitch in the building. Maybe or maybe not my best friend. I have absolutely no idea at this point. But
did we just become best friends? Yep.
It says abandon, abandon, abandon. It just gets to a point where this alleged Mitch in the building says that I cannot hold back anymore. I just truly, truly appreciate you. So shout out to my guy, Mitch. And Mitch says, whoa, whoa, whoa. Technical difficulties. I shall be right back. What's going on? What's going on with you, Mitch? What is going on with you? And you guys let me know. Does my mic sound okay? I made the software that I was using was causing my mic to have issues. But I have switched that up. So we should be good now. We got the one, the only Maddox in the building. Good morning, Maddox. How are you doing? Maddox says the mic sound good. Shout out. Thank you so much for that, Maddox. Thank you so much.
We the best.
And let's see. And Miss Freckles says call the authorities. How does that song go, Miss Freckles? Someone call 911. Someone stole his profile. My goodness, what's going on over there? All right. Let's get. And by the way, before we actually get into the show, you guys know, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff, right? But tomorrow night, I am making it public. Well, not public, semi-public. I'm making it available to the Patreon members to join the Scrum Night that me and the Tech Barbarians are doing, so that they can listen in, they can see how it works. They can even ask questions about why, like the things that we're working on. And tomorrow is going to be pretty interesting because we are nearing the end of the project that we've been working on for the past year and a half almost. And we are about to start on a new project where one of my Tech Barbarians are going to take the realm and leading the design of this project. It's going to be an amazing project. But to get some details about it, you're going to have to join us tomorrow night. Yes, tomorrow night. Today's Saturday. Yeah, tomorrow night. And hear what we're going to be talking about. See how we close out our current sprint, how we reflect back on how it went, and how we are going to start working on this new project. So you definitely want to tune in. techcoachralph.dev, as you see right here, techcoachralph.dev. You can sign up for the lowest paid tier account, and now you have access to the Discord. Make sure you link your Discord to your Patreon account so you can get automatically teleported into the Discord. And I have in the Discord, we're going to be having a lot of cool events where I have some of my Tech Barbarians. They're going to be showing how they work through Try Hack Me, how they like what they're learning about the banking industry, quality assurance, all of that good stuff. So I am looking forward to seeing you there. All right. Before we get into it, Mitch says, everybody calm down, relax. I don't even know if it's really you. All right, Mitch, if it's really you, blink twice. Mitch, if it's really you, what was the very first interaction that we had? If it's really you, Mitch, what was the very first interaction that we had? All right, you let me know. And Mitch says, Ralph, shut up, you yapping as usual. You sound crazy, profile hacked. Grow up. All right, you know what, Mitch? You know, Mitch, that I cannot. If you know, alleged Mitch, that I cannot grow up. So I'm gonna take it as disrespect. I'm gonna take it as every time you tell me to grow up, I'm gonna take it as disrespect because you know that I cannot grow up anymore because I am I've done as much growing up as possible. All right?
How dare you?
I tell you, you have no shame, man. All right. Last one. It says, me beating you in resume versus. Okay. It is the real Mitch. Is in the building. He knew the answer, right? However, he has the details a little skewed. He did not beat me. I won, but this must be the real Mitch. All right. No more alleged. This is the real deal. Let's get it. You know what? It says, don't put me on screen anymore. You know what, Miss Freckles? Miss Freckles, I have to, I have to give credit where credit is due, Miss Freckles. I have to give credit where credit is due. For the past year plus that I've known Mitch, I thought he was just a letter M, right? But ever since you came back around, Miss Freckles, I'm just gonna say, ever since you came back around, he's been a lot more active and bubbly and now to the point, Miss Freckles, that there's no more just an M. There is now a hoodie with a face on it, I gotta give it up to you, Miss Freckles. I gotta give it up to you, Miss Freckles. You did the impossible. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Oh my God. Magnetar says he beat Rico in this universe. Says stop lying about my victory. And Miss Freckles says, hello, Eminem. Listen, there is a reset. There is a reset, this weirdo. All right. All right. Enough of the games. Enough of the games. Let's get to our, we're already 15 minutes in. Let's get to our very first segment. We're going to be talking about the core. So let's zoom over to the other side. All right. We have our economic dictionary, urban dictionary of economic data, right? We're going to zoom in a little bit. So, the Fed chair, Jerome Powell, testified before Congress, but we're not going to look into that. So we have our CPI, Consumer Price Index. We have we're going to do the PPI after that. Then we have the initial jobless claims. Then we have the core retail sale, or we have retail sales. And then we're going to talk about Mr. or Vice President JD Vance talking about AI in Paris. All right. So let's get to it. Let's take a look at the CPI. Let's do consumer price. Consumer price index. Let's click on that. So what exactly is the consumer price index? It comes from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Let me put up let's do this. Let's do that. Right. So it comes from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. So what is it? And while I'm reading through this, drop me in the chat what roles or careers that we should look into to see how it relates to and how the consumer price index would affect that job role. All right. So we will do that. Let's see. All right. So what is the consumer price index? It's like a price report card for everything that for everyday things that you buy, like groceries, gas, clothes, and even rent. Imagine you make a shopping list of all the stuff you need. The CPI, Consumer Price Index, keeps track of how much that list costs over time. So, for example, let's say you have, I'm pretty sure there's an app for this, but this would be really cool. I mean, it's a lot of tracking though, right? But all right, so follow me here real quick, right? So let's say you go grocery shopping, right? Or whatever it is that you go shopping, right? And whatever it is that you go shopping, and you have your receipts. So let's say for the month of January, right? You have your receipts, and you scan all of those receipts, and it tells you how much you spent, and it categorizes all those things that you spent, right? Now, for the month of February, you do the same thing, and it compares how much you spent in January and how much you spent in February, and it says, okay, how much did you buy in January and how much did you buy in February? And it says, okay, so if you bought more in February and the price went up, then that makes sense because you bought more. But what if you bought less? What if you bought less in February and the price still went up? That means prices are increasing. So that's pretty much, so that's how I'm imagining. So imagine that there was an app where you can just scan your receipt and it goes and takes all the barcodes and all the SKUs, and it categorizes what they are, and it gives you the price over time that you're spending on this stuff, right? That would be pretty cool. That is an excellent app idea. That is an excellent app idea. If it doesn't exist already, right? You do need to have a database of all of the SKUs and be able to read that. But that, I'm gonna think about that a little bit more. I'm gonna think about that a little bit more. Okay, so it says how does it work? So think about the shopping basket, right? Filled with all the stuff that people buy usually. Then the government checks the prices of these things regularly, and then they compare today's prices with the prices from the past to see if things are getting more expensive or cheaper. So if the CPI goes up, if the price of the brick goes up, it means prices are rising and your money doesn't stretch as far. If it goes down, that means things are getting cheaper. Why does this matter to us? Why the hell should we care about this, right? Well, it affects how much money you need to live and how much you can save. It also influences things like wages, pensions, and even the economy overall. Basically, it's a way to measure the cost of living and how it changes over time. Let's see if we can get an example. Let me see. Anything in the chat? Any examples in the chat? Let me see. Let's see. Oh, I see. Oh. All right, Mitch. I will do you a favor. I will not pull you up on screen anymore, but I will read your messages, but I will not pull you on screen anymore because I see the M is back. I got you, Mitch. I got you. It's going to be hard not to pull you up, but I will do my best, all right? Let's see what we got. All right, so what role? Let's take a role of a, so Mitch, that's so basic though, Mitch. All right, software engineer it is. Let's go with the software engineer. All right, Mitch, I'll tell you this. In the on YouTube, it shows an M, but on my software, it shows the picture. So you let me know if you want your picture to show, then it will. But if you don't want it to show, then I will not. All right. All right. So let's take a look at the consumer price index. All right. So how can the CPI impact a software engineer? Salary adjustments. Many companies adjust salaries based on the CPI. If the CPI increases significantly, a software engineer might receive a raise to help maintain their purchasing power. For instance, if your favorite coffee goes from $3 to $3.50, that 17% increase means your salary should ideally increase as well to help you afford the same coffee without cutting back on other things. If I was to ever pay $3 for a cup of coffee, right, and which that will never happen, but then the price raised by 50 cents by up 17%, which I would never be buying a cup of coffee for $3 in the first place. But if that was to happen, I would probably just stop drinking coffee or buying coffee and just start making coffee at home because I am not paying $3.50 for a cup of coffee, right? But the cost of living. If you're a software engineer living in an area where the cost of living is high, an increasing CPI may make housing and everyday expenses even more expensive. This is particularly relevant in tech hubs like Silicon Valley or Seattle, where prices rapidly skyrocket. Shout out to Seattle and Silicon Valley. Job market influence. Employers may hire software engineers based on regional CPI trends. If CPI rises quickly in a certain area, tech companies might attract talent by offering better salaries or benefits to comply with rising cost of living. Lastly, budgeting and spending. As a consumer, a software engineer will also feel the effects of CPI in their day-to-day life. If transportation costs, grocery prices, and rent increases due to higher CPI, they might need to budget differently or cut back on certain expenses. All right. Let's go to. So I'm gonna do a Magnetar's federal worker, but I'm gonna put a twist to it. Right. I'm gonna put a twist to it. Federal employee required to be in office. Where is my guy Rod Brown when you need him, right? Let's put a little twist on it. I was already thinking about this one. All right. So, how does the CPI affect a federal worker who's required to be in office, right? So, let's see. Imagine that the CPI shows the overall price of goods and services have increased by 3% over the past year. This means that on average, things like food, housing, transportation, and healthcare are costing more. The impact on federal employee. Let's say the employee earns a salary of $60,000 per year. If the cost of living increases by 3% as indicated by the CPI, then their money doesn't stretch as far as it did before. Here's what it could mean. You get a COLA, not Coca-Cola, but you get a COLA, a cost of living adjustment. And Magnetar, as I read through this, right, let me know if this is accurate because you are a federal employee. To keep up with inflation, many federal employees may receive a cost of living adjustment. If the government decides to raise salaries based on the CPI increase, this employee might receive a raise of about $1,800, 3% of $60,000, to maintain their their purchasing power. All right. Work expense. The employee may have to spend more on commuting, lunch, and other daily expenses. If their lunch costs $10 each day and prices rise to $10.30, God, that's an extra 30 cents per day. All right, thank you, Captain Obvious. Over a month, this adds up to about $6 more for lunch alone, combined with other rising costs like gas for commuting. Their salary may not feel as sufficient unless adjustments are made. Budgeting and planning. If the CPI continues to rise and their salary does not keep up, this employee may need to rethink their budget. They might decide to cut back on discretionary items like dining out and entertainment, which can have a cascading effect on personal finances and well-being. So Magnetar says COLA, right? Cost of living adjustment. I have a question for you, Magnetar. I have a question for you. If you get a COLA because the CPI, the cost of living goes up, right? If the cost of living goes down though, do you get another COLA where they take away from you? Where they take away from you? I don't know. That's an interesting question. That is an interesting question in my book. All right. Anyways, I digress. So we are going to jump to a quick little video, which is talking about the CPI, and then we're gonna jump into it into great detail by going to the link over here. I can go to it right now, but let's go to a quick little video where we are talking about the CPI, and then we shall get into the is that CPI? Let me see. Is that the CPI one? Yes, it is. All right, let's watch that real quick.
We're back now with some breaking economy news. We've got new numbers out this morning. They show prices are rising higher than was expected. Consumer prices rose 0.5% in January on a month-over-month basis, but a 3% year-over-year. This comes after Fed Chair Jerome Powell called the economy strong overall during remarks before Congress yesterday. He emphasized the Federal Reserve is not in a rush to lower interest rates more. Breaking it all down for us, we've got our economic dream team, NBC News business and data correspondent Brian Chung, Investopedia editor-in-chief Caleb Silver. Good morning to both of you. Brian, I'm going to start with you over at the big board to give us some of these numbers. Tell us what they tell us about how inflation is continuing to evolve.
Yeah, and again, inflation measures how much prices increased over the course of a year, and on a yearly basis between January of this year and January of last year, prices rose by 3% according to the government. That was above what economists had expected. They were expecting something closer to 2.8%. So that's certainly not good news, especially when you consider we're going in the wrong direction. We want this number, inflation, to go down, and instead it went up by 0.1%. Over the yearly chart of these yearly rates, you have seen this steady rise from actually about the mid 2% to now, as I just mentioned, the 3% mark, which we just hit in January. Again, that is an improvement from what we saw in the beginning of 2024. But again, what economists say is healthy is something a little bit closer to 2%. So a lot of progress to be made on that front. When we break out the categories, these are now monthly changes. How much did prices change between December and January? Food prices, to no surprise, up 0.4%. Energy costs, we did see gasoline prices marginally go higher as well. Those prices up 1.1% on a monthly basis. But shelter, this is the biggest cost for most Americans, just putting a roof over your head. We saw an acceleration in the monthly rate of of price increases, 0.3% between November and December, now up 0.4%. That's one that's a little bit concerning, and that we'll have to watch in the months to come, Savannah.
Caleb, what does this tell you about the state of the economy?
Yeah, things are hot. Prices are hot. Don't forget, in January, there's a lot of price resetting. This is when a lot of retailers do what they call their factor adjustments, right? When they raise prices on everything. They've seen your Netflix subscription rise, but you also see product prices rise. It's the year-over-year increase. There's some of that, but also these food prices. When you think about eggs, that's a big component of what we shop for. That's a big part of this. And the shelter that Brian just mentioned, that's 30% of CPI. And we know that's becoming a real burden for homeowners and people that are trying to buy a home or just pay the rent. So that's a very interesting thing to watch that just keeps getting stronger. When you strip out food and energy prices, which is the core CPI, that's at 3.3%. So this is a lot hotter than expected. And the Fed, as we know, had been lowering interest rates, raising interest rates to try to bring inflation down. There's now this battle of what are they going to do next when they meet.
Brian, some of these numbers that you mentioned are concerning. They're, of course, just like the essentials, food, shelter. What else are you seeing trends in those categories?
Yeah, we were just rolling the video of eggs. That's the one that most people are thinking of. Let's take a look at egg prices based off of how the government measured it. Again, what we're looking at here on the left side are the January 2024 numbers. People are saying, oh my gosh, I wish I could get eggs for $2.50. The average price now $4.95. Just on an anecdotal basis, I saw eggs for over $10 here in New York City just this weekend. Milk prices of $4.03. So that's basically going sideways from a year ago. That's certainly good news. Gasoline prices $3.21, about the same as this time a year ago. So again, prices across the board about the same, with the exception of a number of items that we do notice the price tags for, noticeably eggs, which are actually almost double now as of compared to a year ago. So these are the prices that Americans care about. Although I want to point out, on a adjusted basis when it comes to wages, which we got from the employment report last week, at least wages are outpacing the rate of overall inflation. Average wage gains around 4% on a yearly basis, and this report shows that prices are going up by 3%. But again, 4 larger than 3 on an average basis at least. That's good news.
We also talked earlier this morning about coffee going up. That just really sucks, doesn't it? All right, Caleb, let's talk about what we heard yesterday, because anything that we can kind of glean from comments that Fed Chair Jerome Powell makes is helpful to understand what may happen when it comes to any type of interest rates cuts, though we're not really expecting that. But he was testifying yesterday in front of the Senate Banking Committee. What stood out to you? Well,
he says he's in no hurry to lower interest rates, and this report is only going to cement that. If the economy's strong, he keeps saying that, but prices are higher than the Fed wants. The Fed wants inflation somewhere in the 2 to 2.5% range. We have not been able to get down there and stay down there, but the economy is still relatively strong when you look at the labor market. Brian mentioned the wage gains. That's a big component of what the Fed watches right now. But the Fed is going to hold pat at least as long as it can.
I always find it interesting when they say that it's like, according to metrics, to the numbers, right? Men lie, right? Men lie. Women lie. But numbers manipulate. So they're like, yeah, the economy is so strong, it's doing so well, but people are having to pay between $5 to $10 for gas. I mean, for eggs, for a dozen eggs, people are having to pay between $5 and $10. Look, I'll be honest with you, right? If I wanted to eat some eggs and the price was between $5 and $10, I would just not eat eggs. That's the honest truth. I would, you know what? What's on sale right now? Oh, pork shoulders on sale. I'm going to eat pork. Oh, chicken is on sale. I'm going to eat chicken. Oh, beef is on sale. I'm going to eat beef. I'm going to go for the sales price, because I'm not going to be paying $10 for a carton of eggs. Nope. Like, eggs are not like, I'm sorry to deviate, but I think a lot of, like, when I see prices are going like up on certain things, I'm like, okay, fine. That just means I won't have it. I don't care. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm not going to cry over the price of a certain item going up. I'm like, all right, I just have to adjust. By me crying, whining, and complaining about it, nothing's gonna happen, right? I'm like, all right, I just have to adjust. So let me pivot. Let me see what's available. You know. But anyways, I apologize.
Even though President Trump has said as recently as last night and this morning, he wants interest rates to be lowered to account for the tariffs he's imposing on all these goods we bring into the United States.
All right, Caleb Silver, Brian Chung, thank you both for helping us on this breaking news.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app, or follow us on social media.
All right, so let's get into the numbers. Why don't we? All right, so CPI released February 12, 2025. CPI for all items rise 0.5% in January, Shelter up is the warning that they give. Let's click into this, right? So it says make sure you can see that. All right. So consumer price index summary says the consumer price index for all urban consumers, CPI-U, increased 0.5% on a seasonally adjusted basis in January after rising 0.4% in December. So pretty much prices went up in December, and now prices are going up in January again. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics reported today over the last 12 months, the all items index increased 3% before seasonal adjustment. The index for shelter rose 0.4% in January, accounting for nearly 30% of the monthly all items increase. The energy index rose 1.1% over the month as gasoline index increased 1.8%. The index for food also increased in January, rising 0.4% as the index for food at home rose 0.5% and the index for food away from home increased 0.2%. And so the price of food is going up, and if it's for $10 eggs, I'm like, all right, you can raise the prices to $100, right? You can raise whatever you want because I just won't buy it. That's why I find it laughable when people talk about, oh, price gouging. Let's say they're price gouging the eggs. We need to go after these companies and stuff like that. I'm like, just don't buy eggs. Like, are you going to die if you don't eat eggs? But did you die though? You're not gonna die if you don't eat eggs. So let it go. Just pivot. Maybe eat duck eggs or something. I don't know. Maybe iguana eggs. Asking for a friend. All right. Let's continue. The index for all items less food and energy rose 0.4% in January. Indexes that increased over the month include motor vehicles insurance, recreation, and used cars and trucks, medical care, communication, and airline fares. The indexes for apparel, personal care, and household furnishings and operations were among the few major indexes that decreased in January. The all items index rose 3% for the 12 months ending January after rising 2.9% over the 12 months ending in December. So it's like they said, it's getting more expensive. The all items less food and energy rose 3.3% over the last 12 months. Everything outside of food and like gas and like stuff like that, the over the last year it rose 3.3%. So things got 3.3% more expensive. And based on what you're buying, because 3.3% is like a whole, but based on what you're buying, let's say you're buying eggs, for instance, right? Then your price increase is a lot higher, right? Let's say you decide to do the egg diet, right? Starting tomorrow, but you're paying about $50 for the type of egg that you need. It's probably not worth it. It's probably not worth it at that point, right? You probably want to try a different diet. All right, let's see. The food index increased by 2.5% over the last year. We have some charts. Let's see. And all right, so it says the index. So let's start over here. The index for meat and poultry, fish, and eggs rose 1.9% over the month. As the index for eggs increased, the index for eggs increased 15.2%. Good Lord, that is a lot of money.
Money.
All right. Says the index for other foods at home rose 0.3% in January, and the index for non-alcoholic beverages increased 0.9%. The dairy and related products index rose 3.3% over the month. All right. Let's see. It says the index for fruit and vegetables fell 0.5%. Oh, so look at that. Although I am not the biggest vegetable or fruit person, but if you cannot afford eggs, maybe it is a good time to go on a look. All right. Oh my God. I don't want to do this, but if the prices of food is going up, maybe that's an opportunity. I see Rod Brown is here. So maybe that is the good Lord telling you that you've probably been eating a little bit too much. maybe it's time to start fasting. Maybe it's time to start doing one meal a day. Maybe you don't need to have those 5 eggs for breakfast with pancakes and stuff like that. Maybe you need to fast a little bit because the price of food is going up. Maybe you need to do that fruit and vegetable diet. I am not a fruit and vegetable type of person, right? But maybe it's the good Lord telling you that you need to change it up. Start fasting and start eating a little bit of fruit and vegetables. Maybe cut back on the eggs, but maybe if the price of steak is not too bad, maybe if the price of pork is not too bad, you go with that. I'm just saying. Some people will fight me on the pork. If you don't like pork, then don't eat pork. But for me, I eat to what I can afford. I'm just saying. All right, let's continue. I get sidetracked on these topics. All right. Says the index for food away from home index rose 0.2% in January. The index for limited service meals rose 0.3% over the month, and the index for full service meals rose 0.1%. The index for food at home rose 0.9% over the last 12 months. So for food at home, so look at that. For food at home overall rose almost 2% over the last month. The meat, poultry, fish, and eggs index rose 6.1%. That is a lot of money. That's why I have a strategy. I have a strategy for all right, I'll tell you the truth, all right? I got like 3 freezers full of steak, all right? And other meat products, right? But I have like 3 freezers with. So I plan for the future. When I see a sale, I'm like, all right, we got to stock up because you never know what the CPI is going to do to us, right? So it says the meats, poultry, they rose 6.1% over the last 12 months. With the eggs, my God, I cannot even read this. The eggs index increased 53%. 53% over the past 12 months. Oh my God.
How dare you?
And they say the economy is doing amazing. So amazing that the cost of eggs have increased 53% over the last year. The index for non-alcoholic beverages increased 2.2% over the same period, while the index for other foods at home rose 0.8%, and the index for dairy and related products increased 1.2%. And that's why watching the little 3-minute video of NBC News talking about it, it's great, it's cool, but we are actually breaking down the price increases for all these little details. Like, would you have guessed, right? Because a lot of times we just go to the store and we're like, all right, get a carton of eggs. Sometimes it's $3, sometimes it's $5, sometimes it's $8, sometimes it's $15. Who knows, right? But when you look at the data, the price of eggs increased 53% over the past 12 months. That is absolutely crazy. All right, let's continue. It says, while the index for other foods at home rose 0.8% and the index for dairy and related products increased 1.2%. The cereal and bakery products index increased 0.4%. The foods that kill you, these are the foods that kill you, all right, over the year, and the fruit and vegetables index rose 0.3% over the same period, all right? It says the food away from home index rose 3.4% over the last month. So that means over the past year, you have been paying 3.4% more on dining out. So let's say you went to, let's do some math real quick, right? Let's say you went to dinner. And you spent, let's use a nice round number, right? Get my calculator up. So you did a nice round number where you did $100, right? But let's say over the past year, it went up 3.4%. So that would be $3.40, right? And let's say you went to that dinner 4 times let's say you spent $100 dining at a nice dinner 4 times a month, right? So that's 3.4 times so that's 13.6 times 12. So that's an additional $163.20 per month that you're spending, or not for the year that you're spending because of that 3.4% increase on dining out. I know the price of food at home went up, But I'm pretty sure that you can still get a lot more food at home than dining out. All right, but some people like to take those to-go plates. I don't know, but I avoid eating out as much as I can. All right, let's see. All right, we got that. The index for limited service meals and the index for full service meals both rose 3.3%. So even going to McDonald's or Golden Crust or whatever like local restaurant, it's still it went up just as much as eating out at like a fancy restaurant. Of course, the prices are different, right? But still going to Chipotle, you're paying 3.3% more. What? Sorry, I will just make my own bowls at home. All right. It says the energy index increased 1.1% in January. The gasoline index increased 1.8% over the month. Before seasonal adjustments, gasoline price also increased 1.8% in January. It says the index for natural gas rose 1.8% over the month, while the index for electricity was unchanged in January. The index increased 1% over the past 12 months. Not too bad. The gasoline index fell 0.2% over the past 12 months, and the fuel index also fell 5.3%. So energy has been getting cheaper. In contrast, the index for electricity increased 1.9% over the last 12 months, and the index for natural gas rose 4.9%. So for those two aspects of it, it's more expensive, right? So all items less food and energy. The index for all items less food and energy, and the reason that they take out the food and energy is because food and energy fluctuates a lot. So by taking those out, they can get a better picture of how things are getting more expensive or less expensive, right? Says let me see. The index for owners equivalent rent rose 0.3% in January, and the index for rent, as did the index for rent. The lodging away from home index increased 1.4% in January. So that means the hotel prices and stuff like that are getting more expensive as well. The medical care index increased 0.2% over the month. The index for prescription drugs increased 2.5% in January, and the index for hospital services rose 0.9% over the month. The physician service index increased 0.1% in January. Motor vehicle insurance rose 0.2% in January. I just renewed my car insurance. The index for recreation rose 1% over the month, and the index for used cars and trucks increased 2.2%. Let's see. The index for all items less food and energy rose 3.3% over the past 12 months. The shelter index, so housing costs, increased 4.4% over the last year as well. Bruh. However, there's a bright side. It's the smallest 12-month increase since January 2022. Other indexes with notable increases over the last year include motor vehicle insurance up 11.8%. That's why you have the insurance hop, all right? Medical care rose 2.6%, and education 3.8%, and recreation 1.6%. All right, so that is our data for today. Let's go back to full screen. All right, I'm gonna check the chat. Let me get this down. All right, I'm gonna check the chat and see what my friends have to say in the chat. And I saw that Mitch says he does not care if his profile picture shows because it does not change afterwards. So it's gonna be what it's gonna be. All right, let me go to the chat, see what we got going on. Let's see. We have. Let's see. Oh, we far back. All right, let me see. We got a lot of messages. All right, so Magner said thumbs up to COLA, cost of living adjustment. COLA is also used to compete with the private sector salary. I don't think, Magnetar, I don't think the federal government can really compete with the private sector salaries, to be honest with you. I mean, they can because they apparently have unlimited funds, but maybe they can. Let's see. So Magner says, I don't know. I've never seen that happen, but Congress and the president can determine whether I get one or not. They also determine the percentage, so the figure could be very, very low. And Mitch says inflation. Magner says Biden gave us a raise, but it was considered low this last go round. Maybe the remaining federal workers who maybe they'll get a bigger raise because a lot of the workforce is going to be getting out of there. You know, Mitch says electric definitely went up too. My electricity bill seems to have been going down, but it might be because it was winter, so I'm not 100% sure. It says, and Mitch says another one, right? Netflix went up as well. You know, I don't pay. I don't really pay for my streaming services. I have Amazon because I have Amazon Prime, but it's more for the shipping. But the video comes with it. But like I get a lot of stuff through T-Mobile. So like Netflix, it might add on like $3 to my T-Mobile bill, but I have like the lowest one with the commercials. I'm like, I don't watch Netflix. Peacock, that's also given to, like, they give you a year for with T-Mobile, so that's what I've been using for Peacock. But I don't pay for these streaming services. Let's see. Magner says about to get rid of Amazon Prime and Paramount. I have Amazon Prime for the shipping. Let's see. Mitch is crazy about the price of eggs. I'm about to buy me some chickens. And says, I hear you. I'm about to get rid of Peacock. But then, Mitch, if you get rid of Peacock, how are you going to watch Chicago PD? How will you watch Chicago PD? Mitch says he doesn't care about the comment. We got my guy in the building. Mr. God is still working on me. The nourishing word himself, Rod Brown. Hey, Mitch, I saw you leave Rod Brown a comment yesterday. I was like, look at that. Look at Mitch being all social and stuff. Then we have on the Twitch side of the game, SSB7711. How are you doing today, SSB? I saw that you were streaming, working on app development and stuff like that. So keep going. You are doing absolutely amazing and fantastic. So it's a process to learn, but just keep going, right? Keep going. Do not stop. Let's see. Rob Brown says, I actually care about the price of eggs. It's normally a part of my breakfast for protein intake. I will have to adjust. I understand what you're saying, Rod Brown. I understand what you're saying. But you know what, Rod Brown? You can, a possibility is replacing the eggs with steak. That's an option. That is an option. I'm just saying. Steak and bacon. Just saying. That's an option. Although steak is probably pretty expensive right now as well, but that's a whole nother story. That is a whole nother story, right? Mitch says, let's buy a farm. Okay. Let's see. I have to stage it like this, right? Rod Brown says, I'm broke. And Mitch says, your mentality is, ooh. Let it burn. And Mitch also says to Rod Brown, you did a great job on the last video. He sure did. Let's see. Magnus says, might have to buy livestock. Where are you living at, Magnus? Where you moved to? Are you able to have livestock over there? Look, as nice as it would be to have some chickens, I do not want that headache. Did I ever tell you guys a story about the birds that we had? Anyway, I'll tell you that another time because time is running. Let's see. SSB says, I just completed my stream and rated your channel. Looks like you don't have an alert. I don't know what that is. I don't know what an alert. I gotta figure. I am not the most savvy Twitch person. I have to learn more about Twitch. But thank you so much, though. I don't know what to do when a raid happens, but thank you nonetheless. I truly appreciate you rating my channel. Let's see. Oh my God, we got my guy AR Smitty in the building. What's up, AR Smitty? AR Smitty, did you check the album out yet? Did you check the Abandoned album? Let me know what your thoughts are. Like I said, it is a very, very clean album, so you can listen to that with anybody. So definitely check it out. Let me know your thoughts. SSV says check out the stream. I will definitely check it out. And Mitch says waffles. I mean, yeah, if you want to eat death, then sure. I'm just kidding. Waffles do not equate to death. maybe heart disease. I'm kidding. Cut me some slack. Egg whites is an option. But hey, I need my protein. Egg whites. All right, well, whatever works for you. And as SB is out, you take care. It says no pork over here, please. I tried. And Magnus says there are also protein shakes. There are protein shakes as well. Yes, there are. I just actually started drinking this protein, this beef protein. It's actually pretty damn good, I must say. Right meal replacement shakes are an option. That's true. Miss Freckles says my brown eggs run me $7. I miss walking out to the barn to get them myself. That's a good point. Telling you, like, you just got to adjust. To what is going to be the best, and maybe it's time to fast. Who knows? Mitch says Freckles fake for dinner. And Mitch also says, I told you whatever you need me to be. What in the world? That's hilarious. That is hilarious. Let's see. What else? We got DV Darrow in the building says a single hash brown at McDonald's. No. That can't be right. That can't be right. A single hash brown at McDonald's. All right, I have to check this out here. How much are hash browns at McDonald's? No way. It doesn't say $4.95, but different McDonald's probably have different prices. But it says that hash browns can cost around $3 at McDonald's. $3? That is absolutely crazy. I might have to go on Grubhub and check on the price of McDonald's. That is crazy. My goodness, that is crazy, DB Darrow. And you know what? You can go to Costco or BJ's and you can buy, or even Walmart, buy a box of hash browns for, I don't know, maybe for that same $4, right? That's what he says. Getting a 12 pack at the grocery store costs $4.95. Make it make sense. Crazy. Let's see. He's serious. He is serious. Let's see. A medium fry at Carl's Jr. was like $4.40 the other day. Oh my God. Bruh. Need to buy those frozen fries and throw them into the air fryer. It says, can you play the saxophone? Mitch, can you play the saxophone? Mitch? Let's see. And I'm happy that Rod Brown is back home because he had a very, very tiring week from traveling so much. Let's see. Says Fed will pay lower, but private sector is too finicky for me. That is true. The private sector is finicky. They will let you go at any they can let you go whenever they feel like it, right? And we do not like unions as well. We do not like unions. Let's see. Let me see. What else? Mitch says, I heard all of your stories. Let's see. Miss Freckles is saving for land. Says, Maddox says, in a raid, an alarm goes off and you thank the person, their stream comes to you and might get some follower. Okay. I gotta see how to set that up. Let me see. Let me check the mobile dashboard because I never really got too familiar with that. I'll check it afterwards. But let's keep going. Give me a second. Be right back.
Grinding hard, we never sleep. The mountain's high, but the climb's so steep. With every push, we prove our might. True giants own the night.
Foot on their necks, they think they can rise. Boss up with no work is living a lie. We're the giants, we're earning our keep. You're only here cause we let you
You
breathe.
think you got what it takes, but you don't. No accolades, no grind, watch your throne. We built this empire brick by brick, while you sit back pretending you're slick.
We the true giants, the leaders of the pack. You're in our shadow, watch your back, only here, because we allow it. So know your place, you'll never outgrow. Yeah, every triumph, every trophy we earned. While you chasing dreams yet to be learned, we fought battle scars to get to the top. Your lazy hustle just makes us stop. Burnt out pretenders can't.
All right, we're back. We are back. Had a little bit of a technical difficulty, but we're back. All right, we are. I'll put this thing. Hold on, give me a second. Give me a second. Unplug that. Let's see here. All right, we're good. We are good. Technical difficulty. All right, let's go. Let's see. All right, let's continue. Let's see. Where were we? All right, let's continue. Let's time is running. Let's get to the PPI, right? Because we are definitely going to go over today. I was trying to keep it at 90 minutes. We are definitely going to be going over today, right? And I'll probably end up skipping the initial jobless claims, all right? So let's jump over to our next topic for today. Let's go to here. And we're going to get to the producer price index. So the producer price index is very related to the consumer price index, right? And if let's go to producer, where is the producer price index? PPI, producer price index, right? And I also have, you remember I said this last week, I added it over here where we can see our producer price index over here, which increased by 0.4%. So let's find out what that is, okay? So the producer price index is similar to the consumer price index, but instead of tracking the prices of things people buy, it tracks the prices that businesses pay to make those things. So how does it work? Production costs. Imagine a factory that's making sneakers like Jordans, but maybe not in the United States, but all right, because they need materials like rubber, fabric, and labor. The producer price index tracks the price of these things and services, these materials and services. So just like the CPI, the government checks the prices of these materials and services regularly. It says it compares prices. They compare today's price with prices from the past to see if the costs for businesses are going up or down. If the PPI goes up, it means the cost for businesses to produce goods and services are rising. If the price goes down, it means costs are decreasing. So it says, why does it matter? When the production cost goes up, businesses might raise their prices to cover the cost which can eventually lead to higher prices for consumers. So the PPI can be an early indicator of inflation, showing how the prices of raw material and production price might affect the price we pay in stores later on. Drop me in the chat some examples. I'm going to start off with let's start off with let me see what are some odd jobs. What about a dog trainer? Let's do a dog trainer. How does the producer price index affect a dog trainer? I like HVAC tech better. Let's do HVAC tech. HVAC tech. Let's do that one. I like that one better. I was just trying to pull something out real quick, but yeah, that's better. Gas station employee. That's a good one too. We'll do that one next, all right? So an HVAC tech. Well, we'll do that. We'll save the gas station employee for the retail goods because we're kind of limited on time, right? All right. So it says the PPI measures change over time. And, all right. So we know that. It says all right. So how does the PPI impact an HVAC tech? So cost of equipment and material. HVAC techs rely on various materials like refrigerant, ductwork, or compressors and equipment like HVAC units to do their jobs. If the PPI rises for these items, it means the manufacturers are charging more for them. This can lead to HVAC companies needing to raise their prices to maintain profit margins, which could affect the technician's wage or job security. Service pricing. If the cost of materials goes up as indicated by the PPI, HVAC service companies may adjust their service pricing to pass some of those costs onto customers, which means that the technician might have to explain to clients why service costs are higher, which can influence how customers perceive the value of their services. That means you got to start doing a better job as well, right? Job availability. So if PPI increases significantly, it might indicate rising inflation. When inflation rises, consumers tend to spend less on non-essential services like some HVAC repairs or upgrades. They might have to pick up a fan, which fans really don't work because it just blows hot air around the house, right? So I never really understood fans, right? This could lead to fewer job opportunities for technicians. Long-term contracts. HVAC businesses often enter into contracts that have fixed pricing for a period. If PPI indicates rising costs, businesses might seek to renegotiate these contracts to safeguard against rising expenses, which could affect the technician's pay rate or their job conditions if these companies struggle financially. All right, so let's jump into the report. All right, it says, all right, so we have PPI for final demand rises 0.4% in January, services increases 0.3%, goods advance 0.6%. All right, so so this was released on February 13th, on Thursday. It says the producer price index for final demand increased 0.4% in January. Seasonally adjusted, the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics reported today. Final demand prices rose 0.5% in December. So it rose 0.5% in December, and it rose so it's just steady rising, right? So, and as we were saying earlier, when we saw the prices rising, back in like November, and I said, well, it's likely that the CPI is going to be going up in the next couple of months, and we are actively seeing that now. All right. All right, so it says that final demand prices rose 0.5% in December and 0.2% in November. So 0.2 in November, 0.5 in December, 0.4 in January. So let's watch the CPI in March and in April, right? On an unadjusted basis, the index for final demand moved up 3.5% over for the 12 months ending January 2025, right? Leading the broad-based January advance in the index for final demand prices for final demand services rose 0.3%. The index for final demand goods moved up 0.6%. The index for final demand less food, energy, and trade services rose 0.3% in January after moving up 0.4% in December. For the 12 months ended in January, prices for final demand less food, energy, and trade services advanced 3.4%. Respectively, right? Respectfully. Final demand services. The index for final demand services moved up 0.3% in January, the sixth consecutive increase. It says, let's see, three-fourths of the broad-based advance in January is attributable to prices for final demand services, less trade, transportation, and warehousing, which rose 0.4%. The index for final demand transportation and warehousing services and for final demand trade services increased 0.6% and 0.1% respectively. Let's see. Product detail: over one third of January rise in index for final demand services can be traced to prices for traveler accommodation services, which advanced 5.7%. The indexes for automobile retailing, partial truck transportation of freight, food and alcohol retailing, apparel, jewelry, footwear and accessories retailing, and bundled wired telecommunications access services also moved higher. Let's see. In contrast, the margins for fuel, lubricants, and retailing fell 9.8%. Prices for securities, brokerage, dealings, investment advice, and related services for physicians also declined. All right, shout out to that. So investment advice is getting a little bit cheaper. Let's see. Final demand goods. So the index for final demand goods moved up 0.6% in January, the fourth consecutive increase. We read that. Product detail. In January, a 10.4% increase in the index for diesel fuel was a major factor in the advance in prices for final demand goods. The indexes for chicken, eggs, beef, and veal, gas fuels, and jet fuels and communications related also moved higher. So that means in the next coming month, price of eggs are still going to get higher. Conversely, prices for fresh and dry vegetables, fell 22.3%. The index for pharmaceuticals, preparations, and for residential electric power also decreased. All right. I'm not going to jump into the intermediate demand, but we can pretty much guess that the prices for the intermediate demand, which is like the materials needed to make the final demand goods is what you see on the shelf. We can estimate that those went up as well, but we don't have to go into great detail on what they actually went up. But that's it. That is it for our producer price index. Let us go back to our full screen. And let's see what else we got. So, we have, let me see. Let's do the report on retail goods, and then we're going to check the chat, and then we will get to so let's do the report on retail goods, and then we'll get to the chat, and then we'll get to JD Vance, and we'll just like finish the show off with JD Vance in the chat and stuff like that. So that way we'll keep the economic indicators within the time frame, and then we'll just hang out and go over JD Vance, and we'll go over and we'll have some fun with that. All right. So we're gonna go back over here. Let's go to go here, and we will do, I think it's this one. Nope, we will do this one. Retail sales report, right? So retail sales went down by 0.9%, but let's get the details, right? So let's search for, I'm going to add another search to the bottom of the page. I think I should add another search to the bottom of the page. I think that'll be helpful, right? But let's do retail. I think I can, and I did, all right? Oh, that's not, I wanted to do this one. No wonder it took so long. Retail sales. So, Commerce Department report on retail sales. So what is the Commerce Department report on retail sales? So it is the Commerce Department is a part of the U.S. government that deals with businesses and trade. They put out a report that tells us how much stuff people are buying in stores and online. This stuff is called retail goods. Why is this report important? So it's an economic health check. Imagine the economy as a big, beautiful machine. This report helps us to see if the machine is running smoothly or if it needs to be fixed, if it needs a little bit of fixing, all right? If people are buying lots of stuff, it means they have money and feel good about the economy. So how does it affect jobs? When people are buying more things, stores and companies need more workers to make and sell those things. So a good report means more jobs. You know, with business decision making, companies look at this report to decide what to make more of and what to sell. If they see that people are buying a lot of one thing, they might make more of it. Investments. Investors use this information to decide where to put their money. If the retail sales are up, they might invest more in companies that sell goods. So why should you care about this report, right? So even if you're not a business owner or an investor, which everyone should be an investor, right? This can still affect you. Here's how. Prices. If people are buying a lot of a certain item, the prices of those items might go up because they are in demand. No, that's not why they go up. It's because these companies are price gouging. They're price gouging. They just want to, take every last dollar. No, it's because a lot of people. It's like when PlayStation comes out, right? Whether it's a PS2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There is always the prices are always like, it's either unavailable or somebody who buys it, they sell it for like 3 times the price, right? Because people pay for it because it is hard to get. So when an item is unavailable, the price of the brick goes up, right? The job market. If the report shows that sales are strong, it means more job opportunities for you and for others. Economic stability. A good report means the economy is stable, which can make it easier for families to plan for the future, buy homes, and save money.
Money.
All right. So all right. Let's get to. I think I have a video on this. Let's check the video real quick. All right. Let's see where we have our video. Let's go here, and we're gonna go to.
We're back now with
that one. We saw that one already. Let's go to this one.
All right, we are just seconds away from retail sales and import price data. The futures this morning have been weak for most of the session, giving back a little bit of yesterday's gains. Now down. They've improved, not 100 anymore, not triple digits anyway. On the Dow, Rick Santelli is standing by at the CME in Chicago. He is ready to parse these numbers for us from beginning to end. Good morning, Rick.
Yes, from beginning to end. And once again, viewers, listeners, there's a lot of numbers. I'll go slow. Retail sales, by the way, has had 4 consecutive positive months in a row. Will it be 5? The answer is no. January retail sales comes in on the light side. Disappointment. We're expecting down just a smidge, minus 0.9. That'll be the biggest negative month-over-month change, going all the way, but it equals January of 24. You have to go to March of 23 to find a bigger negative month-over-month number. Now, these are advanced, which means in a couple weeks they may change. If you strip out autos, it improves marginally. It's still down 0.4. You strip out autos and gas, it's down 0.5. That would be the weakest level really since January of last year. And finally, the core retail sales, or the control number, comes in down 0.8. That's a real disappointment. We were expecting that to be positive. Now, there are revisions, and minus 0.8, just to put a face on it, that would be the weakest core retail sales since March of 23. Now, we have revisions on everything across the board I just gave you, and all the revisions are positive, so it'll take some of the sting away. Headline went from 0.4 to 0.7 positive. X-Autos from 0.4 to 0.7. X-Autos and gas from 0.3 to 0.5. And you saw the control number improve from 0.7 to 0.8. But we want to really watch these numbers and see if they change at all in the coming weeks when we get our final reads. Import-export prices. These are also for January. If you look at import prices on a month-over-month basis, up 0.3. If you strip out petroleum, it's up 0.1. If you look at import prices year over year, up 1.9%. And just to put a face on that as well, our last look was up 2.2%. So it is moderating to some extent. If you look at export prices month over month, this is a biggie. We're expecting 0.3. It is multiples of that, 4 times that, 1.3%. That would be the biggest export price increase going all the way back to, and this is going to be a ways on this one, 1.3 would take me to, we're looking at May of 22. So that is way back. Export prices being on the high side. Consider where the dollar index was a good portion of 24, and it has slipped a bit, obviously. And finally, the last category, export prices year over year. Well, expected 1.4. Once again, export prices zooming here, up 2.7. That'll be the biggest export increase going back to all the way the end of 22. So much of that jibes with some of the inflation data we've seen. A couple things to throw out there, Joe. Some of the retail sales may have been affected by things like weather and other issues, exogenous issues. The dollar index, by the way, is now 106 handle, meaning it's under 107. If my memory serves me right, we haven't closed under 107 in the dollar index since mid-December. So this could be a new low close for the dollar index for all of 2025 and, of course, a little bit beyond that. The other issue we want to point to is interest rates really fighting at some very key levels we may spend some time on. We're now down at 4.49, so we're below 4.5%. 4.49 would be down 4 on the day. It is now down a couple on the week, which is significant to monitor. The weekly numbers are quite important. And if you look at a 2-year note at 4.26, right now that would be down 3 basis points on the week. Any close under 4.5 in a 10, any close under 4 3/4 on a 30, I still say is probably going to be an event that's more rare as we move through the year. Back to you.
All right, so that was the breakdown of the retail sales, but I forgot to do the example, so we're going to use the gas station employee that Ms. Freckles requested. So let's see how does the report on retail sales affect a gas station employee, right? So understanding the trends, right? So understanding sales trends. The report indicates whether overall retail sales are going up or down. If sales are rising, it may mean that people have more disposable income, which could lead to higher demand for gasoline. For a gas station employee, this might mean more customers purchasing fuel, potentially leading to more tips. People tip at the gas station, or commissions if their workplace has a reward system. Gas prices. The retail sales report can also influence gas prices. If the economy is strong and people are spending more, this might lead to increased demands for gasoline, which could drive prices up. On the other hand, if retail sales are down, it might lower demand and impact prices negatively. A gas station employee should pay attention to these trends as they can affect the customer's purchasing behavior, like whether to fill up their tank or just buy. Like, let me get. All right. Let me know if you ever did this, right? Or let me know if you still do this, right? Where you would say you go to the gas station and you're like, all right, you say just put $10 on pump number 3, right? Because that's all you got. That's all you could afford at the time. You're like, all right, I just got to get here. I have $10. So there were days that we were like, let me get $3. Let me get $3 on 5, right? I just got to make it home. I just got to make it home. That's all. Let me get $3 on 5. Or do you just say, you just put the card in, let it fill up to the top, and you're like, all right, I'm out. Let me know. It says, all right, so job stability. If retail sales are consistently strong, it suggests a healthy economy. This can improve job stability at the gas station because a thriving economy often leads to higher consumer activity. Conversely, if sales are declining, it might create uncertainty about job security as businesses may cut hours or staff due to customer turnout. And lastly, inventory promotion. A gas station often sells more than just gasoline. It has convenience store items as well. If the report shows that people are spending more overall, the gas station might decide to stock up on popular snacks or drinks, which means the employee might have more products to sell and potentially earn more through commission on those items. I doubt that part, but it is what it is. All right, so let's jump over to this report from the Census Bureau. And we have December was 730.3 billion, January 723.9. So, and I just thought about this too, right? I can kind of see why December would be higher than January because people are spending so much in November, December for Black Friday, for Thanksgiving, for Christmas. And then in January, it's kind of like a reset, right? It's like, oh, all right, I gotta start saving money. I have to get my life together. That's what I tell myself every single morning when I wake up and I crack on Mr. David Goggins and he tells me, you are a piece of but we're going to fix that today. We got to get to it, and then we're off to the races. So I understand. All right. But it's January. Many people have these New Year's resolutions. gym prices, gym memberships probably skyrocketed. People are, it's probably a good idea to invest in what is the name of that company? GNC and Vitamin Shop for like the first 2 weeks of any new year. The first, I'm not saying as a long-term play. I'm just saying for the first 2 weeks from January 1st to January 15th. I wonder, I have to do some research on their stock. If they're public companies, right? If they're public companies, how is GNC and Vitamin Shop during the first 2 weeks of every new year? Because it should skyrocket for those first 2 weeks, and then after those New Year's resolutions are broken, then dump them, right? Maybe set one of those limit type things. I don't know these stock terms, right? But where's the wealth building journey when I need them, right? But set these things like, all right, it's going to skyrocket for these first 2 weeks. On the first day of January 1st, it's gonna go, whew. But then it's gonna slowly trickle down. So you need a good exit strategy. So I'm just saying. All right, so advanced estimates of U.S. retail and food service sales for January 2025, adjusted for seasonal variation and holiday and trading day differences, but not for price changes, were $723.9 billion. Yes, billion dollars, down 0.9% from the previous month and 4.2% from January, and up 4.2% from January 2024. So down from December, but up year over year. Total sales for November 2024 through January 2025 period were up 4.2% from the same period a year ago. The November 2024 to December 2024 percent change was revised from up 0.4% to up 0.7%. Retail trade sales were down 1.2% from December 2024 and up 4% from last year. Motor vehicle and parts dealers were up 6.4% from last year, while food services and drinking places were up 5.4% from January of 2024. And if I remember correctly, wasn't it January or April of 2024 where they had those like the minimum wage increase for like people who work in restaurants and stuff like that. Except for I believe I know it wasn't like California, it wasn't like maybe Seattle, but except for Panera, I think it was it except for Panera, because they are they're not a restaurant, they're a bakery or some nonsense. Like, I don't know. Sounds like shady business to me. All right, so that is our report on retail sales. Let's go back to full screen. And let's change that back to here. All right. So that is a report. Let me start checking the chat, and then we will transition over to JD Vance's speech at the AI Summit. We're gonna take as long as it takes to get through it, because I wanna stop through it. I wanna break it down, give my thoughts on what he's saying. I use AI every single day for the things that I need assistance with. It is like, as you guys have seen, I've been building the AI content, the content creation assistant in the mornings, and it, like, you have no idea how much, like, this probably has saved me like a good 10 to 15 hours since I've been using it, right? So it's crazy. But let me start with the chat, and then I'm going to go through the chat, and then we're going to get to JD Vance's speech, all right? Vice President JD Vance, to be exact. Let's see. Let's see. All right. All right. The hash browns. DB Darrow says, my air fryer is helping me not order out as much. Game changers. The air fryer is absolutely amazing. And if you like, I've had a few air fryers, but the one that I use now is like that Ninja Foodie grill, where it has like a plate where you can grill, and it can also do the air frying and stuff like that. So you can like get steak grilled in there, and you can also like do fries or whatever other stuff that you air fry. It is legit. It is legit. Magner says, I love unions. They tend to keep bad managers in check. I am not a union person. I would never join. It's because we have a different show about that. But I don't. From what I've seen with how unions, with the results from unions, is that after they do all this negotiating and stuff like that, then the same people who are picketing end up getting laid off. So I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know. I don't know. It says the managers I have now are actually good. Shout out to good managers though. Shout out to good man. I've never been in a union, so I can't speak for this, right? But is that the only way to keep good managers, like to keep bad managers in check? Why not just get rid of bad managers? I don't know. And Mr. Rico says, thank you. To me, says, did Miss TCR do the graphics for the outro? No. I do the graphics for, I do the video stuff for that because I have to edit a lot of text and it's a lot more customized. So yeah, I do those. She has not reached that part yet because she's working on the other channel, on the music channel, getting those stuff ready. But for this channel, there's a lot of like those type of things. I need to figure them out. And then once I figure them out, then I can share it with her. Like, all right, this is how you do this and stuff like that. But so that she has not done that yet. Let's see what else. What else it says? Are they newer management? For those good managers. Let's see. Mentor says, no, 2 of them are in my age range, but have been with the agency much longer. And says, abandoned release stream when? That is good. So great question, Rod Brown. We're going to be doing that tonight at 8:30-ish p.m. On this channel as well as on the Tech Music channel, all right? So definitely want to tune in. Yes, Eastern time. So that would be Central time, or that would be 7:30 Central time for you, Miss Freckles. Let's see. Miss Freckles is in Central time. Let's see. Max says, I hate Nike. Sick of how they release certain Jordans. I'm indifferent to shoe companies. Let's see. We gotta fix that. Okay, I got you. Let's see. Miss Freckles trying to move down over to Florida to be closer to her father. I have to say, I saw your message about Wesley, your chat about Wesley Chapel. I have no idea where Wesley Chapel is. Pasco County. Is that near Tampa? Is that near Tampa? Let me see. I am not familiar with Pasco County. It is Dade City. Let me see a map. Where is Pasco County? Oh, it is by Tampa. Okay, it is by Tampa. It looks like. Okay, cool. Got it. Interesting. All right. Nice. All right, let's keep going. Let's see. I need sunshine and less snow. It is currently down here in South Florida. It is 82 degrees with a high. So it's going to be a high of 82, a low of 71 today. Tomorrow is going to be a high of 86 and a low of 69 degrees. But we do get those hurricanes, so be ready for that. Let's see. Let's see. You guys are too funny. All right, let's keep going. Where are we? Oh, Miss Freckle says brick. Oh man. Mitch tried to shoot and he got a brick. All right, let's see. Miss Freckle says, do you think consumers need to adjust how they purchase, doing more bulk purchase to split between households to stretch the dollar longer? That is a great question. I think that people should try. you should always be willing to try different things. There is, I think a lot of times people get very, very set in one way. And I had a friend who used to do couponing, and she would have like a pantry full of stuff, right? So maybe couponing is, I don't know, do people still do couponing? But maybe if you do like you get a group of people, and like you're saying, Ms. Freckles, you do like household purchases, and now you split it, but you use coupons and stuff like that in order to get more of something and split it between. I think that could work. I think I think it's worth trying, right? Now, whenever you're dealing with other people, there's a lot of personalities that come involved, right? So you got to figure that out. You got to have the right group of people to do it. But I do think that's an option. I think it's definitely worth a try. That's a great question, by the way. Let's see. Mitch is, in a perfect world, they should. A lot of people probably do that already, but majority, nope. I don't even think a lot of people do it. Because the thing is, right? Honestly, Mitch, I think a good 98.3% of people are out there trying to take advantage. So they're trying to see, okay, how am I going to be able to come up off this, instead of like working together and see, okay, how can this benefit us all? It's like, well, what am I going to get out of it, right? So, the song, Where's the Good? Where is the good? Mr. Coach says, if I knew more people locally, I would. The savings could be huge. That takes real teamwork, though. I think, well, Ms. Freckles, what's stopping you from getting to know more people locally? If, Ms. Freckles, if you can get to know us here, if you can get to know Mitch, Magnetar, Rod Brown, me, Roxy, DB Darrow, whoever else, right? Maddox, why can't you get to know people locally to say, go on like maybe next door or something, like, hey, I have this crazy idea. Since we see the price of everything is going up so much, why don't we collaborate and we give the idea that you have, right? To make the teamwork happen. What is it that you need? What is it that I need? And let's see what we can buy together to make it happen. So I think you can make it. I think you should try it out. Mitch says that, where'd it go? Says that it's like saying, should you and 10 family members buy a house, live together, and split the mortgage? Should you? Possibly, but that's usually doesn't work. I know I would never do it. Look, because guess what? That house is not going to be under one person. It's not going to be under all 10 people's names, right? So now you're all contributing to the mortgage, and then people start getting real extras, trying to get brand new. So, some knucklehead.
I'm a knucklehead at times.
Was like, hey, we should get a compound, right? We should get a compound, and we should all live together in harmony. But of course, we get the super duper master bedroom, right? Because it's under our name, of course, right? But you're contributing to paying to the mortgage. And like you guys love to talk about these family offices, right? We get the super duper big bedroom, and you get this little room right here, and the kids, they have bunk beds, and they all share in the same room. The kids have bunk beds. You get this room over here, and you need to we're going to have one person who's cooking for everybody. Right. But I'm like, what if I don't like the crap that you eat? Well, who cares? Right. And I was like, you know what?
Yeah, I have a lot of questions. Number one, how dare you?
Just saying. America is built on individuality and freedom. So you need to find that right balance. You can collaborate on some stuff, but a lot of other stuff, you got to do it on your own. I'm just saying. Manager says, if they did make to order, this would put resellers out of business. But I think make to order is really, really expensive though, because it's easier to sell in bulk because now the factory has to become the person who's like dealing with all that logistics and shipping to this person, that person, all that other stuff, right? While they just outsource that and like, all right, you guys deal with that. You market them however you want. Just don't bother us, just pay us our money on time. It says, Miss Freckles says, I prefer my piece to exactly. Like, I don't like people telling me what to do, especially if I'm working hard every single day to come and you're telling me, well, you got to do this. I'm like, who the hell are you? Who the hell are you? All right. It says, Mitch says, good point, but do you need resellers? I think you have resellers because the factories don't want to deal with all that because imagine this, right? Imagine the factory ships something out and it has a problem, and now the factory has to deal with the return. So they have to deal with they have to staff up on the customer service of selling, build a website for e-commerce purchases, have people taking in orders, and then now there's customer complaints and stuff like that. A factory doesn't have to deal with customer complaints because the customers are going to complain to the resellers, right? So like if you have an issue with Frosted Flakes, right? You're not going to talk to Kellogg's customer service because your kid didn't get some toy at the bottom of the box. You're going to go to Walmart, you're going to return it, Walmart's going to deal with it, right? But if the producer or the factory deals with it directly, then they have to deal with that headache. And I'm like, I ain't trying to deal with you guys. I'm not trying to deal with you knuckleheads. Like caring about your kid upset because they didn't get a toy. Get over it. Let's see. Manager says that we don't need resellers. Mitch says, I was thinking about the example. Let's say I buy sneakers for $500, then resell them for $1,500. I think that if somebody's willing to pay it, then I see nothing wrong with it. And Mitch says that reseller in that example. Why? Like, why? Just don't buy it from them. Why? I don't get it. Why do you guys get so offended by whatever other people do? You don't have to buy it. Nobody has to buy it. If they were selling a PS, what? Are we at 5 now? PS6, PS5. If they're selling a PS5, let's say it costs $500 for a PS5, right? But you can't find it anywhere. If somebody's selling it for $10,000, are you upset that somebody else was willing to pay $10,000 for that PS5 or 6? I don't care because I'm not the one buying it. If somebody wants to spend their money on it, then I'm not pocket watching. Like, go for it. And shout out to the reseller who made the $9,500, and shout out to the person who got a PS5 or PS6 for $10,000. It doesn't bother me one bit. So if you want to resell it, whatever you are able to get for it, I'm like, by all means, go for it. That's how I see it. It says, so yeah, he's out in Wesley Chapel, so I saw that. And it says, pisses me off, bread 85 on the way up there now. Let's see. It says, I would have to stay on the East Coast of Florida, not the West Coast. The East Coast is the best coast. I'm just saying, we have beaches all the way up. We have starting from Key West, Key West is not really on the East Coast, but we have Miami Beach, we have South Beach, we have Fort Lauderdale Beach, we have Pompano Beach, we have Deerfield Beach, and then we have the beach in Boca, we have the beach in Delray, we have the beach in West Palm, and it goes all the way up. We have Port St. Lucie, and we just keep going up all the way. Cocoa Beach, Daytona Beach, all the way up the coast. Yes, the east side is the best side. Says say less. Says, oof, Tampa, prepare for it. Look, there's hurricanes all over Florida. It might come in from the east, it might come in from the west. When we had Katrina, we had Wilma in the same month span back in 2005-ish. Katrina wasn't too bad for us, but Wilma, we were out for 2 weeks down here in South Florida. It says, yeah, all the hurricane videos he makes and sends me pretending to be a journalist on the news. I think I can have, look, it's not as bad. I've been in Florida since I was 3 years old, and I've been through my fair share of hurricanes. You just if you're in the direct eye, then you should probably move somewhere else. But it's never been as bad as the news makes it out to be. It says we don't pump gas. Okay. It says I love not pumping gas. It's ghetto out here in the Midwest. So what you guys have electric vehicles? You guys have Teslas out there, or maybe what are those other cars called? The Rivians. You have Rivians over there. Let's see. Ralph hates Black Friday. I don't hate Black Friday. Why would I hate Black Friday? I think Black Friday is awesome. I get all my equipment that I need for my shows on Black Friday. By the way, I almost forgot this, right? Is there anybody in the chat who is familiar with 3D printing? I got this 3D printer over here that I'm trying to print something out, and it is giving me a hard time. It is stringing and stuff like that. Is anybody familiar with 3D printing? Let me know, because I would love to connect with you, and maybe you can help me figure out this 3D printer thing, right? Because I'm trying to print something, and I've been having a hard time with it. Let's see. Miss Freckles says David Goggins for the win. And Mitch says, you think what are you joking about? Are you moving to Florida, Mitch? Are you moving to Florida? They closed a lot of GNC. Yeah, they did. I was just joking with that. It says I always appreciate the word. Shout out to Miss Freckles. Let's see. Let's keep going. It says Ralph, the editor thinks I'm crazy, right? Just a little. It says Miss TCR will get there in no time. It says I've dealt with military my entire adult life. One thing I've noticed is that they tend to keep the bad managers on speed dial. That's funny. It says yes, it's near Tampa, even though you already found it. Thank you so much, Miss Freckles. It says no. It says Ralph, no foolishness tonight. There will be guests. Really? Okay. Look. We do what we do. All right. It says that whole thing about it's taking an act of Congress to fire someone, unfortunately, also applies to bad supervisors. I don't think Trump or Musk is trying to fix that problem. I don't know. We shall see. But I don't know what. I just say you gotta do what you gotta do to get rid of them. Either. See, my strategy has always been this, right? Either I find a way to get rid of the bad manager supervisor, or I rid the bad manager supervisor of myself. And I say, you know what? I'm going to take my talents to South Beach, wherever South Beach might be at that time. All right. Let's see. Says, Mitch says, she doesn't know me. I'm moving on. She's somebody I used to. What is going on here? What is going on? Let's see. Says, so Ms. Freckles says, in regards to the teaming up with their, says, in all fairness, I've gotten to know a few neighbors and they are great. I will bring it up to them. We are all gardening at the same time, so we can find solutions for the winter time too. There you go. And Ms. Freckles, I'll say this, right? I'll say this as well. Get some freezers, maybe some deep freezers, right? So that you guys can freeze like whatever needs to be frozen. So shop in the summertime. And if like for fruits, right? You're gardening fruits, but freeze your fruits. My wife is still pulling out mangoes from last year. I was like, where are these mangoes coming from? Because she froze them. I'm like, nice, right? Let's see. We're almost there. I played all the positions except catcher and outfielder. Okay, you played baseball. All right. Miss Freckles played so many different sports. She's an athlete. Miss Freckles is an athlete. Let's see. I'm worried about the next spender. The reseller is in the way. Let's see. Says, but he hasn't left the porch. All right. Anything else? All right, cool. We're caught up. All right. Now, Mitch says mangoes. They're the best mangoes in the world, Mitch. If you want some mangoes, I got you. Mitch. If you want some mangoes, I got you. All right, just let me know. I got you. Mitch, you gotta find a way to hit me up because you're like a ghost. You are like a ghost. All right. That's why I don't even believe that's your real picture, right? But let's get to JD Vance. Let's get to Vice President JD Vance. Finally, right? Let's go and do it. Alrighty, and let me change this to JD Vance speaks at the AI Summit. Magnusar, I'm trying to convince Miss Freckles to try jujitsu, right? But we'll talk about that on the other side, right? So let's get to JD Vance. I will be pausing in between to give my feedback, my commentary on what he has to say, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, Vice President JD Vance at the AI Summit, AI Action Summit. And I'm gonna speed it up a bit.
The kind introduction, and I want to start by thanking President Macron for hosting the event and, of course, for the lovely dinner last night. During the dinner, President Macron looked at me and asked if I would like to speak, and I said, Mr. President, I'm here for the good company and free wine, but I have to earn my keep today. And I, of course, want to thank Prime Minister here this morning to talk about AI safety, which was the title of the conference a couple of years ago. I'm here to talk about AI safety for all of you for participating. And I'm not here this morning to talk about AI safety, which was the title of the conference a couple of years ago. I'm here to talk about AI opportunity. When conferences like this convene to discuss a cutting-edge technology, oftentimes I think our response is to be too self-conscious, too risk-averse. But never have I encountered a breakthrough in tech that so clearly calls us to do precisely the opposite. Now, our administration, the Trump administration, believes that AI will have countless revolutionary applications in economic innovation, job creation, national security, healthcare, free expression, and beyond. And to restrict its development now will not only unfairly benefit incumbents in the space, it would mean paralyzing one of the most...
Y'all saw that lady sleep? Did y'all see that lady sleeping? Where is she?
AI will have countless revolutionary applications in economic innovation, job creation, national security, healthcare, free expression, and beyond. And to restrict its development now will not only unfairly benefit...
Y'all see her sleeping? Y'all see this lady sleeping? So much disrespect. Put some respect on our vice president, all right? This lady is all up sleeping in the crowd. I'm like, what are you doing, lady? What are you doing? Like, I tell you, no respect at all.
Incumbents in the space, it would mean paralyzing one of the most promising technologies we have seen in generations. And with that in mind, I'd like to make 4 main points today. Number 1. This administration will ensure that American AI technology continues to be the gold standard worldwide, and we are the partner of choice for others, foreign countries, and certainly businesses as they expand their own use of AI. Number 2, we believe that excessive regulation of the AI sector could kill a transformative industry just as it's taking off, and we'll make every effort to encourage pro-growth AI policies, and I like to see that deregulatory flavor making its way into a lot of the conversations this conference. Number 3, we feel very strongly that AI must remain free from ideological bias and that American AI will not be co-opted into a tool for authoritarian censorship. And finally, number 4, the Trump administration will maintain a pro-worker growth path for AI, so it can be a potent tool for job creation in the United States. And I appreciate Prime Minister Modi's point. AI, I really believe, will facilitate and make people more productive. It is not going to replace human beings. It will never replace human beings. And I think too many of the leaders in the AI industry, when they talk about this fear of replacing workers, I think they really miss the point. AI, we believe, is going to make us more productive, more prosperous, and more free.
All right, so I hear so many people who are always talking about, oh, when the AI replacing jobs, AI replacing jobs, right? Which I will say this, right? AI will contribute to replacing certain jobs. I'll agree with that, right? But are all jobs, like, and this is the part that frustrates me, right? Are all jobs meant to stay around forever? Because people are like, oh my God, like this job is no longer available. Like this job is going. Okay, but what I tend to see with the close of one industry is an opening for a new industry. And from my perspective, from my usage of AI, I see so many different opportunities. And from my minor skill, just doing streams, like doing streams on YouTube, right? For me, coaching people, I have the opportunity to use to implement so many different AI tools that helps me so much. So one tool that I use, right? When any meeting that I'm in, for like coaching or consultation and stuff like that, I don't take notes. I don't take notes. I pay for a service, which I wish I could have created it myself, but I pay for a service that follows me around and it takes notes for me. And then at the end, it sends me a summary. And then if it's a recurring meeting, it'll send me a summary like a couple of hours before the meeting happens. It's saying, all right, this is what we did at the last meeting. This were the action items, so you can get ready for the meeting that's coming up. You guys saw me do the content creation. So my belief is that for all these entrepreneurs, AI opens so many doors that where you used to have to pay someone who would do a half job, 3/4 job if you're lucky, because they don't care, they just want the money, right? Now you can control that, and then if you haven't done a particular way, you can train somebody to do that part for you. So whenever so in my case, AI replaced a job that I was never going to hire somebody to do, because I wasn't going to hire somebody to write all my descriptions, to create my titles, to create my thumbnails, or to create my, all that type of stuff. But I could train, keep it in the family, train my video editor to become a social media manager, and teach them how to use the AI tools that I've developed in order to do more with less amount of time. And now you keep the money inside instead of having to go outside. So for me, like when people are like, oh, it's gonna replace this, I'm like, okay, well, are there gonna be other opportunities available? So as I was listening to this speech, I was like, you know what? I pull up the roadmap.sh, and I look for AI engineer, prompt engineer, and it's pretty much outlining the course that we're taking in the mornings, right? So I don't care.
The United States of America is the leader in AI, and our administration plans to keep it that way. The U.S. possesses all components across the full AI stack, including advanced semiconductor design, frontier algorithms, and of course, transformational applications. Now, the computing power this stack requires is integral to advancing AI technology. And to safeguard America's advantage, the Trump administration will ensure that the most powerful AI systems are built in the U.S. with American-designed and manufactured chips. Now, just because we're the leader doesn't mean we want to or need to go it alone, of course. And let me be emphatic about this point. America wants to partner with all of you. And we want to embark on the AI revolution before us with a spirit of openness and collaboration. But to create that kind of trust, we need international regulatory regimes that fosters the creation of AI technology rather than strangles it. And we need our European friends in particular to look to this new frontier with optimism rather than trepidation. Now, the development of cutting-edge AI in the U.S. is no accident. By preserving an open regulatory environment, we've encouraged American innovators to experiment and to make unparalleled R&D investments. Of the $700 billion, give or take, that's estimated to be spent on AI in 2028, over half of it will likely be invested in the United States of America. Now, this administration will not be the one to snuff out the startups and the grad students producing some of the most groundbreaking applications of artificial intelligence. Instead, our laws will keep big tech, little tech, and all other developers on a level playing field. Now, with the President's recent executive order on AI, we're developing an AI action plan that avoids an overly precautionary regulatory regime while ensuring that all Americans benefit from the technology and its transformative potential. Now, we invite your countries to work with us and to follow that model if it makes sense for your nations. However, the Trump administration is troubled by reports that some foreign governments are considering tightening the screws on U.S. tech companies with international footprints. Now, America cannot and will not accept that, and we think it's a terrible mistake, not just for the United States of America, but for your own countries. Now, U.S. innovators of all sizes already know what it's like to deal with onerous international rules. Many of our most productive tech companies are forced to...
And I'll add this in, like, dealing with quote-unquote international rules. The time cost calculator app, which, you know what? I should figure out a way to add AI into the time cost calculator. That would be super cool. But that's besides the point. just to get into the app stores, you have to go through I don't even think I put the time cost calculator in the EU just because of the hassle of getting it into the EU, like whatever approved and stuff like that. I'm like, this is stupid. I would rather not do business with like for a free app, right? I have to go through all this headache to get into. I'm like, forget it. It's like forget the EU. And what he's saying, what Vice President is saying right now, right, about like these foreign countries tightening the screws to do business with the U.S., like with U.S. companies. I say, you know what? They don't deserve our technology. Let them live in the Stone Age, or have some other company or have some other country develop it for them, and have them deal with that, because the amount of like just in privacy laws and stuff like that, dealing with the EU is a total nightmare. Like just at work, right? In your jobs, if you're doing like your security training, and then you have to take these separate trainings for how to deal with data for the EU and stuff like that. I'm like, this is annoying. This is annoying, right? So I'm just saying. All right, let's keep going.
To deal with the EU's Digital Services Act and the massive regulations it created about taking down content and policing so-called misinformation. And of course, we want to ensure the internet is a safe place. But it is one thing to prevent a predator from preying on a child on the internet, and it is something quite different to prevent a grown man or woman from accessing an opinion that the government thinks is misinformation. Meanwhile, for smaller firms, navigating the GDPR means paying endless legal compliance costs or otherwise risking massive fines. Now, for some, the easiest way to avoid the dilemma has been to simply block EU users in the first place. Is this really the future that we want? Ladies and gentlemen, I think the answer for all of us should be no. But there's no issue where we worry about more than regulation when it comes to energy. And again, I appreciated the comments of so many at the conference, because they recognize that we stand now at the frontier of an AI industry that is hungry for reliable power and high-quality semiconductors. Yet too many of our friends are deindustrializing on the one hand and chasing reliable power out of their nations and off their grids with the other. The AI future is not going to be won by hand-wringing about safety. It will be won by building, from reliable power plants to the manufacturing facilities that can produce the chips of the future. Now, at a personal level, what excites me most about AI is that it is grounded in the real and the physical economy. The success of the sector isn't just a matter of smart people sitting in front of a computer screen and coding. It depends on those who work with their hands. Even as robotics will change our factories, it will certainly make our healthcare providers better at treating disease.
And I agree 100% with what he's saying, but I want to add this too, right? I want to add this as well. With all these data centers that need to be open, they're gonna need people understanding like networking to set up these data centers, knowing how to set up these servers, so like network engineers, DevOps engineers to deploy the software that's working on. Like, all I see with what he's talking about right now is opportunity. Because there's going to be more companies that's going to be building more stuff, which they're going to need them. They're going to need software engineers, QA engineers. They're going to need DevOps engineers. They're going to be networking people, all this type of stuff, right? But the data centers that's needed, the energy sector, the energy that's going to be needed to provide power, like, and then where are these data centers being put, right? Think about different areas in the Midwest. There's probably going to be some in his state of Ohio. We saw that it's going. I think it was Arkansas that we read the other day. There's probably going to be some in maybe in the middle of the country, in the Midwest. I'm sure it's going to be like these data centers that are going to be popping open, right? So what I hear, while a lot of you out there, hear fear, you guys are scared. I'm like, I'm running to it. I am running to it. That's why now, like Mondays and Wednesdays, I'm learning how these large language models work. What can I build? My guy Don, always coming up with these new ideas. I'm like, Don, like, are we putting these things to use yet? The other day, Don sent me this really cool kids game, right? That he put together where it helps them learn words and colors and shapes and stuff like that. And I was like, let's work on it. And let's add for kids who can't read yet, let's add a voice thing where it says choose the rectangle or choose the red circle, right? So I'm trying to work with them on that, right? But so many different opportunities and back in the days, there were so many gatekeepers. So, and I'm going to talk about this a little bit more tonight when we talk about the album, right? About the Abandoned album. But so many different gatekeepers where they're saying, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this. But technology has freed us. Back in the day, there were only taxis. You could only take a taxi. Imagine in New York City or in California, right? Taxis. But not necessarily through AI, but through technology and innovation, somebody said, you know what? Let's build an app where people can order, quote unquote, a taxi, and they know who's coming to get them. They know what type of car they're going to be in. And now this opened the door for anybody to be able to work, right? So before you needed to be working for a taxi company, you need to have that $500,000 medallion, which was a whole scam in itself, right? Now we have Uber, we have Lyft, and then from that technology, it's like, oh, well, if we can pick people up and drop them off, why can't we do their grocery shopping for them, right? All through technology. Not necessarily through AI, but this is the progression that led to this AI boom. One of the people I'm coaching, AI, like ChatGPT is their best friend. They even gave ChatGPT a name, right? And they're like, well, I have this goal. How can I achieve it? And AI will break it down, like all this stuff. And I'm like, good use. I don't know. All right, let's continue.
But it will also depend on the data produced by those healthcare providers, by those doctors and nurses. I believe it will help us create and store new modes of power in the future. But right now, AI cannot take off unless the world builds the energy infrastructure to support it. Now, it's my view that tech innovation over the last 20 years has often conjured images of smart people staring at computer screens, engineering in the world of bits. But the AI economy will primarily depend on and transform the world of atoms. Now, at this moment, we face the extraordinary prospect of a new industrial revolution, one on par with the invention of the steam engine or Bessemer steel. But it will never come to pass if overregulation deters innovators from taking the risks necessary to advance the ball. Nor will it occur if we allow AI to become dominated by massive players looking to use the tech to censor or control users' thoughts. And I'd ask if you step back a moment and ask yourself, who is most aggressively demanding that we, meaning political leaders gathered here today, do the most aggressive regulation? It is very often the people who already have an incumbent advantage in the market. And when a massive incumbent comes to us asking us for safety regulations, we ought to ask whether that safety regulation is for the benefit of our people or whether it's for the benefit of the incumbent. Now, over the last few years, we've watched as governments, businesses, and nonprofit organizations have advanced unpopular and I believe downright ahistorical social agendas through AI. In the U.S., we had AI image generators trying to tell us that George Washington was black or that America's doughboys in World War I were in fact women. Now, we laugh at this now, and of course it was ridiculous, but we have to remember the lessons from that ridiculous moment. And what we take from it is that the Trump administration will ensure that AI systems developed in America are free from ideological bias and never restrict our citizens' right to free speech. We can trust our people to think, to consume information, to develop their own ideas, and to debate with one another in the open marketplace of ideas. Now, we've also watched as hostile foreign adversaries have weaponized AI software to rewrite history, surveil users, and censor speech. This is hardly new, of course. As they do with other tech, some authoritarian regimes have stolen and used AI to strengthen their military, intelligence, and surveillance capabilities, capture foreign data, and create propaganda to undermine other nations' national security. I want to be clear. This administration will block such efforts, full stop. We will safeguard American AI and chip technologies from theft and misuse, work with our allies and partners to strengthen and extend these protections, and close pathways to adversaries attaining AI capabilities that threaten all of our people. And I would also remind our international friends here today that partnering with such regimes, it never pays off in the long term. From CCTV to 5G equipment, we're all familiar with cheap tech in the marketplace that's been heavily subsidized and exported by authoritarian regimes. But as I know, and I think some of us in this room have learned from experience, partnering with them means chaining your nation to an authoritarian master that seeks to infiltrate, dig in, and seize your information infrastructure. Should a deal seem too good to be true, just remember the old adage that we learned in Silicon Valley: if you aren't paying for the product, you are the product. Finally, this administration wants to be very clear about one last point. We will always center American workers in our AI policy. We refuse to view AI as a purely disruptive technology that will inevitably automate away our labor force. We believe, and we will fight for policies that ensure that AI is going to make our workers more productive, and we expect that they will reap the rewards with higher wages, better benefits, and safer and more prosperous communities. From law to medicine, manufacturing, the most immediate applications of AI almost all involve supplementing, not replacing, the work being done by Americans. Now, combined with this administration's worker-first approach to immigration, we believe that a U.S. labor force prepared to use AI to its fullest extent will instead attract the attention of businesses that have offshored some of these roles. To accomplish this, the administration will make sure that America...
So, I'm going to add a little bit of my thoughts on this, ensuring that the labor force and stuff like that, right? I'm just going to add this additional perspective from me, that I think it's as long as they are willing, because there's a lot of people like, oh, I don't like this whole technology stuff. I'm not changing. And I'm like, all right, cool. Get left behind. See me? I am an adapter, right? When things are changing, I change with it. I'm like, all right, let's learn this new thing. How can we use it? Even like, I'm always trying, like, do I need to learn DevOps and Kubernetes? Yes. Yes, I do actually. Do I need it for what I'm doing now? No, but who knows what the future holds, right? Who knows if, let's say I stay in QA and then QA is evolving more into like this DevOps type stuff, or maybe because of what I'm learning, I get more senior role opportunities. I don't know, but I'm always I'm not working towards a certain aspect. It's the goal is to be malleable and to adapt to whatever the conditions bring, so that I'm not the one, because I absolutely hate complainers. Like, they just make my blood boil. When people are complaining, I start to get anxiety when I hear people complaining. I'm like, oh my God, what is going on here, right? So I think it's a great initiative, but for those who want to adapt and to learn and to grow, because not everybody wants to do that. And for them, I'm not even going to tell you what I say. To people who want to stay exactly the same and don't want to make any progress, if you're complaining, we'll leave it. Let's continue.
Has the best trained workforce in the world. Our schools will teach students how to manage, how to supervise, and how to interact with AI-enabled tools as they become more and more a part of our everyday lives. And as AI creates new jobs and industries, our government, businesses, and labor organizations have an obligation to work together to empower the workers, not just of the United States, but all over the country, all over the world. To that end, for all major AI policy decisions coming from the federal government, the Trump administration will guarantee American workers a seat at the table, and we're very proud of that. Now, I've taken up enough of your time.
Question: How do you feel about it? Because you guys are always complaining about the education system, right? About, oh, it's so bad, right? Which I don't care about the education system. I think anyway, whatever. How do you feel about the government focusing more? What if the government says, all right, we are going to put in 90% of our resources into into STEM, right? Science, technology, engineering, mathematics. What if they say, all right, we're going to put a big focus on STEM. So that means now in school, they say, all right, for art, for music, for physical education, what other stuff they have in school, right? I don't know, whatever other activities they have in school. We're going to only allocate 10% of the funds to that, and 90% goes to STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, right? So at let's say starting in kindergarten, right? In kindergarten, they are already pushing your kids towards a STEM-minded approach, right? Would you be in favor of that? Would you be in favor of the government allocating its funds, saying, if you want money for, if a state or a local school district wants money from us, 90% of what you do has to be focused on STEM. So that means your school's football team, it's such a great football team, but the money that we're giving you can't be used towards the football team. You guys need to raise that money on your own, get donors and sponsors, alumni, whatever, right? But 90% of the money goes towards STEM. So your kids are being exposed to STEM technologies. Like for my son, I have him these little baby books where it's already teaching you about I forgot what books. Let me look them up actually. I'll tell you the books that I got him when he was born. Let's see. Let me go here. And baby book. See if it's gonna pull up. I got him Robotics for Babies, an engineering baby learning a book from the #1 science author for kids. I got him the ABCs of mathematics. I got him Quantum Computing for Babies, Neural Network for Babies. Was there any more? I think that was it. So yeah, so I got him those books, right? So imagine in kindergarten, maybe even pre-K, they're getting this stuff into their mind, right? So now at first grade, they're starting to show them how to use robots, how to, like, in a fun way that they're going to be interested in, but how to use these robots, how to program those robots, right? And maybe how to get into, like, find a way to start teaching them programming and stuff like that, right? So would you be interested in that, as opposed to art, drawing and stuff? I remember like, I forgot, maybe it was 3rd grade, we were doing like these clay stuff. I'm like, what? My clay pottery type design came out totally bad, but I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, why am I like, this is, we have to put it in one of those little ovens. I'm like, why am I doing this? In 3rd grade, I'm like, this is stupid, right? For me, right? But how would you feel if they said, all right, we're going to less money on art, less money on music, less money on history, less money on physical education, right? If you want your kids to be an athlete, put them in AAU, put them in put them on the soccer team, like wherever, put them on a city basketball team, right? We're not funding that. How would you feel about that? How would you feel? I want to know. Would you want the Department of Education to focus more on STEM, or we're like, or we're just like, no, let's do 50-50, 50% STEM, 50% all the other stuff? Let me know what you think. Maybe I'll put a poll for it tomorrow. I should have put a poll for it. I didn't think about it till now.
So I'd like to close with just a quick story. This is a beautiful country, President Macron, and I know that you're proud of it and should be. And yesterday, as I was touring Les Invalides with General Gravette, with my 3 kids, he was kind enough to show me the sword that belonged to America's dearest international friend from our own revolution, of course, the Marquis de Lafayette. He let me hold the sword, but of course he made me put on the white gloves beforehand. And it got me thinking of this country, France, and of course of my own country, and of the beautiful civilization that we have built together with weapons like that saber. Weapons that are dangerous in the wrong hands, but are incredible tools for liberty and prosperity in the right hands. I couldn't help but think of the conference today. If we choose the wrong approach on other things that could be conceived of as dangerous, things like AI, and choose to hold ourselves back, it will alter not only our GDP or the stock market, but the very future of the project that Lafayette and the American founders set off to create. Now, this doesn't mean, of course, that all concerns about safety go out the window, but focus matters. And we must focus now on the opportunity to catch lightning in a bottle, unleash our most brilliant innovators, and use AI to improve the well-being of our nations and their peoples. With great confidence, I can say it is an opportunity that the Trump administration will not squander. And we hope everyone convened here today feels exactly the same. Thank you, and God bless you all.
All right. So that was JD Vance's representing the United States on the plans that we have for AI in our country. Getting U.S. Hopefully that there is a way to provide a pathway to some type of training to help people get more into the needs for AI. Because training is important. I train every single day. But I agree with the vice president on the growth and the importance of AI. But it is as long as the people want it, and if you don't want it, then you will be left behind. And it is what it is. It is what it is, right? But let's finish up with the chat for today. Let me change this back to. All right. So Magnetar has asked Miss Freckles if she does kung fu, and let me see. And I said that I am encouraging Miss Freckles to try out jiu-jitsu. For her and her daughter should try out jiu-jitsu as soon. Just go take a class. Just go take a trial class. See how you like it. Go take a class. See how you like it. Right. Let's see. Let me move this back up over here. Let's see. Mitch says that would be me. All that yapping. And Magster says AI creates jobs. Thought AI would be putting people out of work. Look, it will put people out of work, but it will open new opportunities. I really think that a lot of times we see work as only one way, right? And for me, I see work like what I'm doing right now. What I'm doing right now is work for me, right? And I like it. But what I do on Monday at 9 a.m. that is also work for me, and I like that too. What I do on Tuesdays, or what I do on Mondays at 7 p.m. when I go to jiu-jitsu, that is work for me, and I like it too. Everything I have changed my mindset to everything I do, every single thing I do, it's work, and it's with a purpose. So guess what? AI might be putting people out of work, but guess what? AI gave me work. AI hired me because I'm using AI to get examples of these economic indicators and how it relates to the jobs that we do on a daily basis. I'm using AI to help me with my content creation workflow. I'm using AI to take notes on my calls. The project that the Tech Barbarians are going to be taking on, that's going to be heavily AI involved. The albums that I've released, AI. My thumbnails, AI, like so many different things that you can see me, and I am not a graphic designer, right? But imagine a real graphic designer. They can use these image generation tools to make these amazing thumbnails in a fraction of the time. So it might be putting people out of work in traditional work wise, but I think that it's going to be opening. It is opening so many different opportunities. Wait till I figure out how to integrate AI into jujitsu. Oh my goodness, it's gonna be crazy. Mitch says, I understand both sides. For example, data entry will replace, but people have to skill up. 100%, Mitch, 100%. And for me, I don't see anything wrong with jobs getting with jobs getting replaced with new jobs. You have to move. You have to adapt to the times. So it's okay. He's saying that AI and humans will cohabitate instead of one replacing the other. Look, the Ford Mustang replaced the live Mustang in how people got around. What did we have before we had trains, right? Before we had boats and ships, and it's like things, life evolves, and we cannot be, believe it or not, there are some people who still live like it's 18 or 1518 or 1614, whatever the year that they settled over here, right? There's some people who still live like that. So it's on them. It is on them. DB Darrow says, if used correctly, AI is a 10 times force multiplier for the user. 100. I was saying how I use AI, that it has like saved me so much time in so many of the different things that I'm doing, right? But at the same time, it can be used incorrectly. But guess what? Everything else is used incorrectly as well. And it's a battle between things being used incorrectly and things being used correctly. Because guess what? Scammers, before they had AI, they were scamming people other ways. You guys remember the tax fraud that scammers were doing? Stealing people's pins and stuff like that. And the IRS had to do a whole bunch of like stuff. So it's gonna happen. Like there's gonna be people who use stuff negatively, right? But that's a part of life. That just shows that in everything there are evildoers, there's bad characters. So totally agree with you. Miss Freckles says, making pancakes, y'all. I don't know if I will be back in the chat. If not, I will join the party later for Abandon. Shout out to Miss Mitch. You see, look at that, making pancakes. The other night, Mitch, it was heart-shaped pizza. This morning, it is pancakes. Magna says, I don't believe any leader should take it upon themselves to phase people out. I don't think anybody actually phases people out. I think evolution phases people out, to be honest with you. Like things evolve, you know. And people need to adapt. Let me see. I want waffles. How are you gonna leave me? Let's see. DB Darrell says the pancakes are burned, so you might as well stick around. Oh my goodness. And by the way, it is Miss Freckles' daughter's birthday weekend. So shout out to Miss Freckles and her daughter. Look at that. So it was Miss Freckles' birthday last week. Now it's her daughter's birthday this week. Look at so many birthdays. Let's see. Mitch says it will. Well, I get it, but soon it's me. You're so silly. And I made a special offer to Miss Freckles. Say, hey, look, if you want to create a birthday song, we'll figure it out live on air tonight. Let me know. We can make that happen. And Miss Freckles says that would be so neat. Of course, let's do it. Let's do it. You guys let me know from the. You guys will see. You guys will get a behind the scenes look on how I generate the prompt and make it sound certain ways. So we shall see. Let's see. And those camera angles were weird. And shout out to Justin Trudeau, the 51st governor of the United States. Just a little jokey joke. But I'm excited to have my northern neighbors to be fellow citizens of the United States of America. We'll welcome you in with open arms. I'm just messing around. All right. Let's see. But maybe I'll go to Canada if I don't need a passport. We'll see. Let's see. Mitch says, yeah, these data centers are going to be popping up. Magnus says change is fine. All I'm saying is don't try to use change as an excuse to phase people out. It opens the door to bias. I'll put it like this, right? I think that I think that you cannot stay the same though, man. Like bias. I don't care about bias, to be honest with you. Like I know a lot of people do. I don't care about bias because my mindset is I need to be the best. I have to be the best, and I am going to outwork. If I know you're working hard, if I knew Mitch was waking up earlier than me, I would probably wake up 2 hours earlier. Because I have to be the best. I have to outwork my competition. So if you want to have bias against me, then you're gonna lose. And that's how I see it. Like those things, like I actually welcome it. I welcome it. I'm like, all right, bring it. We right here. We're not going anywhere. Because then the choice that you made based on your bias, you are going to regret it because whoever or whatever I am doing, my sole goal will be for it to be 100 times better than you. So that's why I don't get fazed by any of that. It doesn't bother me one bit whatsoever because I am always going to win. Because if I will either do it myself, if I can't do it with you, then I'm going to do it myself, and it's going to be 100 times better than yours. So that's how I see it. So that stuff does not bother me whatsoever. And Mitch says Joe shouted you out in his recent video. Okay, I gotta check it out. Shout out to my guy Techniships Joseph Smith. Shout out to my guys over there and Tech Bag Trey. Shout out. Love those guys over there. Love those guys. And don't be trying to talk in a way that C- students don't get it. Well, man, that's why we are here together, because I'm like, you know what? We are gonna figure it out. No matter how slow it goes, we're gonna figure it out together, because I want my C- students, my D students, my A students like Miss Freckles. I want them all to get it. All right. Let's go to that's what they do. All right. It says include adult learners, and I'm all in. I say yes. Have it available to everyone, right? Because guess what? It wasn't available when we were in school, right? And I was thinking about this as I was like, if what I was saying earlier about the STEM in like at the beginning was available when I went to college, I would have done I would have probably stuck to my computer science major and understood what was going on, but I had no idea, because I knew computers, but I had no idea what I was getting into in computer science. And they're like writing in C and C++ and try to do a loop. I'm like, I don't know what any of this stuff means. You know? So I'm like, we need to make this available early. If we're gonna have public schools, right? If we're gonna have public schools, we need these public schools to actually prepare us for the technology that's coming. You know? So that's how I see it. That is how I see it. All right. Let me continue with the chat. Who else we got? I really wish. I don't know. Let me see something. Let me check something out real quick. Let me see something. I'm just curious if X comments will show up. Let's go here, and we will go to. Let's go. Oh, there, I did that. Let me see if I'm just testing something out real quick. On X. Where would I do that? I don't know. I was able to do it yesterday. I don't know how. I was trying to see if comments on X would show up over here, but I'm not sure. Let me see. Nah, that's not gonna work. Let's see. Just curious. All right. Anyways, let's continue. It says, let's see. Ms. Freckles says STEM needs to be pushed ASAP. It's overdue. 100% agree. And Max says, nah, but I support that kind of funding for sure. Well, I don't remember what exactly are you saying nah to? What exactly are you saying no to? Because I don't remember the exact question at that time. Let's see. Miss Circle's gonna post the link. Let's see what else we got. Mitch says the new thing is streamers and content creators. It took over rappers and some NBA, etc. Not everyone will make money being a streamer, so STEM is good. More people need to learn it. But here's the thing, Mitch. Like, not everybody's gonna be content creators and stuff like that. Maybe if you talk about ratchet stuff, maybe you have a better chance. I don't know. But you also have, so here's what content creation helps with though, right? It helps you learning how to become a better communicator. If you are introvert, right, then you definitely want to start putting content out there because it takes you out of that fear of speaking publicly and creating stuff, learning how to present, learning how to speak to people, dealing with knuckleheads in the chat.
I'm a knucklehead at times.
Jesus Christ. So I think it's very important. Let's see. Mitch says I'm kind of smart. Let's see. You're so silly. All right, let's continue. And Ms. Freckles says fluffy, buttery pancakes are for the win. Shout out to Ms. Freckles. Pancakes. Let's go. I said change is fine. I'm not disagreeing with you. We got Monica D in this. Let's stop the show real quick. Monica D in the building. What's up, Monica? How are you? Hopefully you're doing well. It says, you know what will lose the most because of AI, and I am standing by it. This is music, and the arts will suffer. If you are born with a talent, won't mean much except for life. I have to push back on you. I have to push back a little bit, right? I think if you are born with a talent, so let's say you're born with a talent of singing, right? But you don't know how to generate the beats, right? You don't know how to produce the beats. Well, you could go and pay somebody who created the beats or a producer or something like that a bunch of money for that beat and you sing over it, or you can create your own beats and stuff like that and you sing over it, and now you can perform and stuff like that. You can do whatever you want. On the other side as well, let's say you can create the most amazing beats, but you don't have people to sing over it, or you could use AI to take your beat that you created, that you put your blood, sweat, and tears in, and say, I want a song that sounds like this, and it's gonna generate the lyrics for you, and it's gonna put it to your beat, right? And it's gonna make it sound good. So I think it opens up opportunities for many different things, So and here's the other thing. With music and art suffering, I'm okay with that. And here's why I'm okay with that. Because for my entire life, and probably before that, the gatekeepers of music and art, a good majority of them, which got rich off of us, they have filled our ears and our eyes with absolute stuff that wrecks us. It has, and it, like, everything that goes into our eyes and our ears and our mind, it has impact, whether it's good or bad. And what we were forced to do by these record labels, like, this is what you're going to listen to, and this is what you're going to like. And the radio stations, and they push that on us as well. And now we have the opportunity to listen to what we want to listen to, things that more are adapted to us. So, and that's why I also push back on that, on the music and the arts, because a lot of times they got rich off their negativity, and it has had a lasting impact on us. When I was like in my teens to early 20s, there was this kid, right? He was like 3 years old. He could rap with the radio word for word every single lyric, and I'm like, wow, that sounds talented, but you know so much trash, right? I have no idea what he's up to today. That was a long time ago, but I'm like, the kid was talented with trash, you know. So that's why I push back. I'm like, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. Ms. Freckles says, I agree with you there, Monica D. True talent will be snuffed out in some way, shape, or form. I think you can adapt to that. Says that's a good point. AI songs will win awards over the actual person band. Look, if the AI work is better, then it is what it is. It is what it is. It says I got a shout out to. I got you. It says I went to a really nice jazz club in NYC last year. I fell in love. And guess what? Who's to say if AI produces this music that people can't perform it on my album? My dad, he was like, do you mind if we actually perform these songs? I was like, go for it. Go for it. Just send the check though. Send the check. Let's see what else. I grew up listening to real instrumentals, so I love anything like classical, jazz, etc. Says, do you have a favorite instrument or not really? And then Monica says, AI copies your voice and everyone makes albums using your voice. I think there can be some protections put in place for that. I think there can be some protections. Like, it shouldn't be taking someone's direct voice. But we'll see. We shall see. And what if you're the one who's using your voice to make AI generated music? Would that be okay? So we have to figure it out, but I do not limit technology whatsoever. Ms. Freckles says guitar, saxophone, and violin is my first love. How about you, Mitch? How about you? And Mitch says saxophone, keyboard / piano, mainly saxophone. Says it wasn't trash to him. Of course it wasn't trash. He's 3 years old. What does he know? But it is trash. Right? Oh, look at that. It does. Look, oh my God. Shout out to my guy, Maddox. It says hello from X. It does show up. It does. So comments, I have to figure out how to get there, but comments from X will show up. Shout out to you, Maddox. I cannot reply. So when I send replies, it doesn't go. But thank you, Maddox. I really appreciate that. Thank you for testing that out for me. Let's see. Ms. Freckles says, I am working on the keyboard with my daughter. Shout out to your daughter and you. Says, I have one. I don't use it. What are you trying to say, Mitch? What are you trying to say? And Mr. Freckles says, Ralph needs his royalty music payments up front. Like, and says, did your dad perform King Snitcher? Not yet, but I'll make sure they get that on the rotation. All right. And Mitch says that Ralph, the matchmaker. What? I do what I can. All right. But that is it for today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We were supposed to go 90 minutes. We have went for almost 3 hours. But guess what? We had a lot of fun. We learned a lot. It was good stuff. Shout out to all of you guys. Miss Freckles. Is that a fearful face or is that a shocked and excited and not sure what the future holds face? I'm just asking, Miss Freckles. I am just asking. All right. We got Tola in the building. What's up, Tola? How are you doing? Thank you so much for tuning in. Says great show. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And Miss Freckles says blind dating for the win. Oh, that's so sweet. That is so. You guys are trying to make me get all emotional and sentimental and stuff like that. My goodness, trying to have me learn how to have some empathy. Oh my goodness. All right. Anyways, friends, family, I'm going to get out of here. Do me a favor. Remember tonight, so quick announcement as we head out. Take the traumatic brain injury assessment survey. Help my cousin gather some data. She suffered a traumatic brain injury last year. She is recovering. She's still going through the stages, the therapy and stuff like that. It is tough to deal with. So fill it out as she tries to help people to get more, insight in knowing how to deal with it, how to cope with it. And tonight we're going to be going live. We're going to be going over the Abandoned album, some like how it came about, some thoughts that I had, and we're also going to be creating the birthday song for Miss Freckles live. So I'm going to go into the software that I use to create that. And tomorrow we're going to be going live with DevOps as well tomorrow afternoon. And if you want to join us for our sprint review tomorrow, then you have to sign up for the Patreon, and the link to the Google Meet is in the latest post, so that you can join us. You can see what we're working on, what we're going to be working on, what we're wrapping up, and you can ask us questions, right? Making the people that I'm coaching available to you so that they can actually build some confidence in their communication skills as well, right? So multi parts, all right? So that is it for today. I have a question for you guys. Though before we head out. The question is,
are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not what you...
I am very well entertained. I had a great time. Thank you for all the people on X who tuned in as well. Really appreciate you all. Thank you everyone on YouTube as well as on Twitch. You guys are amazing. All my friends, thank you for helping us have a good time. You guys know, as Mitch says, yesterday's price is not today's price, right?
One more thing. Price of the brick going up.
The price of the brick is always going up. But with that being said, friends, family, I hate to do this, but we have to end the show. And we're going to end the show with this song right here. Where is it? Where is that song? We're going to end it with Where's the Good, all right? So, Tech Coach Ralph, we are out.
Can find even one, just an honest person. So many lies, so many scams, so much brokenness. Why do we do this to ourselves? We need truth unchained from lies, freedom soaring past the sky, honesty in every breath we take. A world of love where hearts don't break. Walking down the street, I see the shadows creep. People wear their masks, but underneath they weep. Tired eyes hiding secrets deep and dark, in a world where truth's a dying art. In the shadows hiding from daylight, smiling faces that don't seem right. Where's the goodness we seek each day? In a world where light feels far away. Where's the good? Where's the honest heart? In this world that's tearing us apart. We need freedom. We need honesty. In the time of lies, set our spirits free. Promises broken like shattered glass, whispers of deceit in every word that passes. Searching for a light in this twisted maze, hoping to find truth amidst the haze. Where's the good? Where's the honest heart? In this world that's tearing us apart. We need freedom. We need honesty. In a time of lies, set our spirits free. Where's the good? Where's the honest heart? In this world that's tearing us apart. We need to rise, break these chains. Freedom and honesty, despite the pain. in disguise, abusers hiding safely behind their lies. We seek justice, but it's nowhere to be found, lost in a sea where deceit abounds. Abusers shame with hands unseen, innocent hearts caught in between. We dream of days where hope's reborn, a better world where none are torn. Kindness grows in unseen places, among the masks and hidden faces. We hold the dreams of brighter days, wishing away these bleak grays.
Where is my money? Tell me where. You wanna chit-chat, but I don't care. Can't be playing with my cash, no way. This disrespect can't be the play. Why you playing games with my cash? Owe me big, but you're acting rash. Said you pay me back today. Hey, now you're silent like it's all okay. Cash rules everything around me. Everything. Pay me what you owe, don't flee. Pay me. Dusty promises, don't sue. No dusty promises. Gotta get straight to the loot. See you styling in your new threads. Spending freely while my wallet's dead. You think I won't come for my green, but I'm not backing down from this scene. Where's my money? You promised me. Where's my money? Quit the chatter and just agree. Where's my money? Your lies ain't funny, it's getting old. Pay me now before I get bold. Where's my money? Dusty excuses won't get you far. Up in the club buying out the bar. Time to face up, you owe a debt. Avoiding me won't let you forget. Ducking calls like a ghost in the night. Running scared, but I'm ready to fight. No more stalling, it's time to pay. Running out on me is not okay. Where's my money? You promised me. Where's my money? Quit the chatter and just agree. Where's my money? Your lies ain't funny, it's getting old. Pay me now before I get bold. Where's my money? Cash rules everything around me. Everything. Pay me what you owe, don't flee. Pay me. Dusty promises, don't sue. No dusty promises. Gotta get straight to the loot. To the loot. Everything around me, everything. Pay me what you owe, don't flee. Pay me. Dusty promises, don't sue. Dusty